Anthony, Fox News. It came ashore as a Category 1 storm a little over an hour ago between Corpus Christi and Galveston.
Near Matagorda, Texas, the worst of the storm surge, the winds, the potential for tornadoes is on the right side of this.
And Fox meteorologist Janice Dean says
it's going to continue to kind of lumber along and still be in Texas for the next 12 to 18 hours.
Storm surge could be up to 7 feet, forcing Fox Weather's Britta Merwin into a car instead of reporting from a beach in Surfside.
Storm surge started to creep into the bays where the fire trucks are, and it was starting to rise too quickly. So the fire department moved their trucks from Surfside Beach over the bridge into Freeport to get them to higher ground.
Barrel's already done damage on Caribbean islands, blamed for at least 11 deaths. Boeing's worked out a guilty plea with the Justice Department to fraud for violating a 2021 settlement that allowed Boeing then to avoid prosecution related to 2 MAX jet crashes overseas in 2018 and 2019.
Then they're going to pay a fine, about $250 million. But Paul Cassell, he's a lawyer for some of the victims' families. He says, quote, "This sweetheart deal fails to recognize that because of Boeing's conspiracy, 346 people died through crafty luring between Boeing and the DOJ. The deadly consequences of Boeing's crime are being hidden."
Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni, President Biden campaign in Philadelphia.
This election is going to be about block and tackling, simple, basic politics.
Well, he insists he's still running for re-election despite questions about his age and mental ability after last month's debate. 4 more House Democrats joined 5 others calling for the president to exit the 2024 race.
To give you a sense of the anxiety gripping the House, Axios reports one lawmaker got blunt, saying this: "The blank is going to hit the fan on Monday when Congress returns." A House Democrat told the outlet people are scared about their own races, but they're also worried about the country.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. America's listening to Fox News.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. We have made it halfway through summer. Now that the 4th of July is behind us, man, the only thing I can see ahead is November. And we've got plenty to talk about when it comes to November. First, let's go around the room, man. How was 4th of July for you, Rhino? What's going on?
Well, it was fun. It was a little bit crazy at times, but we had a lot of fun. So
that's good.
4th of July, we decided we were going to go up to Erin's mother's, Mama Robin's house.
That's your girlfriend's mama.
Yes, and she didn't have a grill. And we were going to grill out some steaks, and we had like 10 people, and I'm like, grill. Yeah, we need a grill. And she goes, I have a little one we bought for $20. But we had already planned on, hey, let's buy her a really nice, like she needs a grill.
See, that's awesome.
So we bought her a grill at Home Depot, and we put it on the back of the truck. We strapped it down, and we drove back to the house. We got some stuff, went over to the firework place. Spent about $400 on fireworks.
Good Lord.
But we decided then, okay, let's head up. We got onto 575, hit the gas. The strap breaks, the wind kicks up, and that thing took off like a kite.
Oh, wow.
Right out of the back down the road.
Oh, that's tough. Were you able to salvage any of it?
Yes. So as I stopped the vehicle, the grill caught up to us. It literally slid right behind my truck.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, on its back.
At least it was there close.
One leg was in the I guess
like on
that's
the shoulder.
Just the shoulder, yeah. And so we picked up the leg, we picked up all the parts, brought it back. Got up there. Mama Robin loved it. She was laughing because she's like, now it has character. Now
it does, yes, yeah.
And so we spent 25 minutes putting it back together, banging it out with hammers, straightening everything out. Threw on the propane tank. Boom.
Worked perfectly.
We cooked all the grills, lit all the fireworks. So, yeah, we had a wonderful, wonderful 4th of July.
That sounds like it. Man, we didn't do much of anything, man. It was slow for us. Lowe's, what about over in Huntsville?
Huntsville, Alabama. I was over at Captain America's house. That's my father-in-law. And, I mean, neighborhood fireworks, neighborhood parade, everything else. So it was cool. It was very chill. We just went ahead and made it a point to just hang out with a whole bunch of family and grill a whole lot and hang out near the pool.
I love that idea, man. That's so awesome. Man, our dog, so I saw 0 fireworks on the 4th of July. We had friends over. We grilled out, kind of like you, Rhino. Yeah. Just a bunch of friends hanging out. And for the first time, everybody was shooting small fireworks in the cul-de-sac, near our house. And it's never bothered our dog before. This time it did.
Yeah.
I mean, he started shaking violently, like trembling. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. I thought the dog was going to die, man. I was scared for his safety.
Yeah.
He was so frightened. So Laura and some friends of ours, they walked down to the lake, which is, just probably 3/4 of a mile from our house. Mm-hmm. So they walked down and watched the fireworks over the lake. Super cool. And I sat with the dog because I thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
That was the worst. It was the worst feeling in the world, man. You don't want your dog dying on the 4th because the Falcons already killed one dog. I don't want the fireworks and the 4th of July to kill my new one.
The amount of people that I found out who give their dogs anxiety medication during July 4th.
Yeah, I understand why.
We give
a lot of neighbors.
We give them little CBD treats that makes them kind of relax, and they were fine.
It gives Cash the runs.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Yeah, man. Every time we've given it, I'm telling you what, you're talking about cleaning up a mess.
Yeah.
Woo. Now, he might calm down, but it's a mess to clean up.
Mama's dogs hid in the bathroom. They were like that, shaking and afraid. That we did go out the July 3rd, Lake Altoona. They did at the yacht club there. I think it's the Etowah Yacht Club. They do a huge firework display. So we took the boat out and we hung out there with a bunch of people. Had a great time. We dragged Liam around on one of those tubes, trying to throw him off, and we're not able to throw him off. So he had a wonderful time. Then we got to watch the fireworks there. So just a really beautiful.
Jeez, man, you got a couple nights of fireworks.
Yeah, we did 2 nights in a row of the fireworks, and then we came here Saturday for the Braves game to watch that.
Yeah,
still undefeated in the times that I've been here for the Braves.
You need to be at more games.
I was joking with Danny Apple. I said, now there may have been one game last year.
Danny Apple.
He's our sales dude. I was saying that he, I've been to every game and I leave when they're winning. So in reality, they only lose when I leave if they lose.
Yeah,
but
because you leave early.
They keep holding on when I've been there this year, so I'm kind of happy about that. Man. I need to go to more often.
Well, 8 games back, so Rhino did his thing.
Yeah, I did what I could.
Got it down from 10, back to 8.
That's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for. Right there is the Braves to win, and taking 2 or 3 from the Phillies is. I mean, that's a big deal.
I mean, right now it's the best team in baseball.
Yeah, Phillies are freaking good, and the Braves are just mediocre at best.
Yeah.
So that was a great series.
They're 10 games over 500. Mediocre at best. You're like the rest of these bitches that they're all like, I'm not really sure how they're doing. Mom, we're so bad. Listen, you're going to be a playoff team. We'll see what happens from there. But all these people that are crying about this season, the fact of the matter is they are a quality team. They're not doing things consistently to be 20 games over 500, so you're 10 games over 500.
Yeah.
Look at the rest of the National League.
Yeah, right. You're just used to seeing the Braves being so good in the last several years, so the fact that they are not playing the way they have is what's got people all sideways.
Yeah, but, I was able to go up and meet with the guys from Glock who were out, and Joey Jones invited them out, so I got to hang out with them and talk to them for a while. We talked about being really superstitious at this point. Are we superstitious, and do we need to continue doing exactly what we were doing? And I said, well, if it means us all hanging out and going to games, then yes.
That's right.
I assume so. Yes, we do need to.
It takes. And then
I love superstition.
We got Ozuna in the All-Star game, which is cool. You got Ronaldo Lopez and Chris Sale is the other guy. Yeah, man. So look, we had 8 All-Stars last year, or 8 or 9 this year. We got 3. It's we had no starters in the NL lineup this year.
Credit to Alex Anthopoulos. You're talking about adding 2 guys during the offseason in Sale and Lopez. And again, a hunch looking at what was going on with the pitching staff and saying, all right, I'm going to add a guy who was thrown out of the pen and another guy who's been hurt for the last 2 years, and they're both all-stars.
Yeah, man. Chris Sale is unbelievable. 18 seasons, and then he's been an all-star 8 times, I believe.
Yeah.
Dude, he is electric. He's lights out. He is so much fun to watch.
He is.
If he can
and
stay
Ronaldo
healthy.
yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was
Absolutely.
good, too.
He lowers his ERA to 1.71, lowest in the league. I mean, man, he's pitching well.
Yeah, it's big times, man. That's
I love
good
watching
stuff
him
right
pitch.
there. Yeah, me too. So, Congress back in session today after their recess, and there is chaos on Capitol Hill. The Democrats are huddling up. What are we going to do with Joe Biden? You had, a virtual call yesterday with Hakeem Jeffries and a bunch of the committee members on Capitol Hill in Congress trying to figure out what are we going to do with Joe Biden. Mark Warner had a meeting scheduled, and it looked like some sort of mutiny, and then that has fallen through, not going to happen. But, dude, the Democrats are in absolute free fall right now.
And I feel horrible.
I know
Absolutely
you do.
horrible.
I know you do. I can tell.
And, I want to do anything I can to help. Oh, wait, we've told you the truth. We told you that we don't believe your lies. You continue to lie. You get everything you deserve at this point. I'm glad they are in chaos. They tried to pull the wool over everybody's eyes and tell everyone in this country that this president was capable of doing the job. When we sat here for almost 4 years now saying, we don't think he'd be capable. We don't think he is mentally strong enough or strong enough in general to run this country. And we were proven right. You get what you deserve. You put this idiot up there, that's what you get.
Well, then you have the New York Times, though. The editor of the New York Times is still, to this moment, writing, we had no idea. We had no clue. We're blaming the White House for pulling the wool over our eyes.
You should be fired then.
Yeah,
you should be fired. You're not a journalist.
That's right, because you're clearly not engaged, man. What have you been doing for the last 4 years?
This is not difficult. I mean, we've been talking about this for, we're going on the better part of 3 years, 4 years, of every single time there's an opportunity where Joe Biden got in public. How did the news media then cover it up? The fact that we would see things that were just weird. Okay, like we joke around, like obviously when you hit a sandbag at the Air Force and you fall over. Okay, that's fine. That again, weird, but it happened, right?
Sure.
But how many times have we seen him leave ceremonies and go, "Where's he going?"
Yeah, right. More often than not. I think that's the big deal. Is the fact that we've been seeing it. The White House, which you expect Karine Jean-Pierre, that's what she's paid to do, is say nothing's wrong. Is the White House and all the all the administration is going to say there's nothing wrong, everything is good. But media has lied to you. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Media has told you that what you're seeing is not what you're seeing, and they've gone along with it. They've been complicit in every bit of it. So for the editor of the New York Times to call this a massive cover-up by the White House is absurd. You have failed, or you've lied, or a combination of the two.
Look, for the first time, I'll say the White House didn't cover anything up. They showed us exactly who this man was. You chose not to write the truth, and that's why Donald Trump is always correct when he says you are the fake media. That's exactly what you are. You are fake. You get the questions supplied to you by the Biden administration. You sit and you make up the narrative that you want to continue down because you are so delusional in your hatred for Trump that you'll continue to spread lie after lie after lie for your administration. And I call it your administration because you're responsible for this. You're responsible for the old man. You're responsible for what the Democrats have to do now. And what they're going to have to do is make a complete embarrassment of their entire party at this point.
Seems like they've done that.
Yeah, well.
But Donald Trump.
We're right in the middle of it, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is just.
Like this, we saw round one last week.
That's right.
Round one starts this morning.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. It's going to be all this week.
How about Donald Trump, though? I think this is interesting in the fact that he's been so patient. You ever have like a hitter at the plate? They're so patient. They see that first pitch, and it's a strike. And they see the second, and it's in the dirt. And they see the third, and it's outside. And they're just waiting. Maybe they foul one off, and it's a good at bat. But it's patience at the plate. Yep. And Donald Trump has done just that. He's been so patient and just let the Democrats fall apart. And he hasn't have to say a word.
I had quite a few people that were asking me over this past weekend, July 4th weekend. Hey, what's going on with this entire story? And I said the same thing every single time. It's the Napoleon idea. When your enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt them.
Yep.
Leave them alone.
And that's what Trump has done.
Leave it alone.
He's smart.
Just let them do their thing.
So one thing I said going into the debate, just let him do it himself. Let him show everybody who he is. Just sit back and answer the questions. And he's continued to do it. And I'm glad that he's continuing to do it because it's absolutely just gold. He hasn't had to say a word. Now, has he put out a few emails and memos? Sure, absolutely they have. But they talked more about what he's going to do moving forward, which I think is great. Let them tear themselves down. It is a absolute ball to watch. I mean, popcorn, just grab it and watch because it's going to get more and more fun. We went last week where everybody was like, it was just one bad night. We still think Joe Biden is, to now senior White House officials. We're not talking about, just a Democrat here and there. You're going to see all of them, the Democrats that are down ballot trying to protect their jobs by now saying, hey, I'm going to go with, because a lot of people were coming up to me going, he can't keep doing this. We're not going to win. So now you're going to see White House officials, like senior administrators saying, hey, this is it. And that's what the call of Hakeem Jeffries is. Again, this man has lied to the American people. This man's been in close contact with the president. He's as bad, and he should be thrown out of his seat as well. He should be voted out of his seat because, you know what? He continues to lie to you. You fall for it, and then you go out there and you just continue to reiterate the lies of the people like Hakeem Jeffries and this administration.
All of it makes me sad, though. I'm not going to lie.
Of course,
it all makes me sad because it is, not only are we seeing it, our adversaries are seeing it. The people that despise us, the Chinese, the Iranians, the North Koreans, the Russians, the people that despise America are taking notes.
Well, let's just, in summation, we have someone that for 4 years the rest of the world has known is problematic when it comes to swimming to the end of the pool, okay? Like, the dude is not all there. So why do you think that the rest of the world is taking advantage of it during this time period?
Yeah, no.
Because they all recognize it, and the news media, outside of us and a handful of others, lied to you the entire time.
Do you think at any point, and the answer is no, that these people who have been shilling for Biden are like, damn, we've done the wrong thing for America?
Well, only because they realize they're in such a bad way he's going to lose, and they don't want to be associated with losing.
Exactly right. So they're abandoning ship now, because otherwise they would have stuck around. You're exactly right. Disappointing. All of it's disappointing. It's sad for America, and the future of America is up in the air at best.
He's not able to form sentences.
Oh, I know.
The man is the most powerful person in the free world, and he's not able to form sentences.
But it's okay. They got Hunter, his convicted felon, drug addict son, now helping with the campaign, and really, he's advising the president. So we're okay now.
You have to laugh or you'll cry.
They found cocaine in the White House.
Well,
dude,
there's so many things here that were like, what a joke.
He said he's glad to be the first black woman vice president.
I know, he stole my bit. I'm the one who was upset about being the first black lesbian on Atlanta radio, and then suddenly he's like, I'm the first black woman president. Stealing my bit.
That's exactly right. Morning Xtra at Xtra 106.3.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Monday, July 8th. Atlanta police are investigating after a 19-year-old was shot during an argument. Officials said the victim was visiting a friend when he got involved in an argument with a suspected shooter. The suspect shot the 19-year-old 3 times, one in each of his legs and once in the arm. The 19-year-old is stable at Grady as they continue to investigate the late-night shooting. Atlanta police are also investigating a shooting that left windows shattered at the Midtown offices of Invesco. Officers received reports of shots being fired but did not find anyone injured or any shell casings. It wasn't until property managers, along with police, found multiple windows damaged and multiple shell casings in the area. There are no suspects, and investigators are asking if you have any information, please call the Atlanta Police Department. In sports, Adam Duvall, Jared Kelnick, Matt Olson, and Eli White all hit homers for the Braves as they beat the Philadelphia Phillies 6-0 yesterday. Reynaldo Lopez threw 6 scoreless innings in the win. Lopez was named to this year's All-Star game along with the Big Bear, Marcell Ozuna, and fellow starter Chris Sale. The Braves are back in action tonight at 9:40 when they head to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. When we come back, the story that shows you why Trump should be president, and it has everything to do with strength. Next on the Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10.
The Kimmer Show is only live on Xtra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
And ever since the 90s, every time Wall Street goes up, it seems all the rest of us go down in a lot of areas.
Yeah, it happened to me.
The more successful they are, the worse off the rest of the country is.
Well, The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
I know this week and this weekend was really, really hot. The thing at our house we didn't deal with is heat because our house is protected with Central Heating and Air Conditioning's maintenance agreement. They come out twice a year, make sure our equipment is running the way it's supposed to run. So me and my wife now just fight over, well, the temperature setting. I would like it on about 72. She would like it on 70, and it's blowing snowballs in the house. That's the way I feel about it. But the thing is, if you're in that situation where your heat is just not able, or your air conditioning is just not able to catch up with the heat or keep up with the heat, Central Heating and Air Conditioning works on every type of HVAC unit. They are your Atlanta Carrier experts for sure, but they work on every type of equipment. So if you have a different brand, then that's okay because they can fix it too. They can actually do a maintenance agreement on those brands as well. So if you need something done and right away because the heat ain't going anywhere, August is going to be hotter than July. It's the way it always works in Georgia. So if you want your HVAC and your AC to keep up with this Georgia heat, reach out to Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. 770-GET-HEAT and centralheat.com is their website.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
When you're leaving the house, do you plead with your garage door? Please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911. Online at stopmyed.com.
Solution Engineer Manager positions offered by CETA Information Networking Computing USA, Inc., Atlanta, Georgia. Collaborates on
on the technology planning, strategy, direction, and design choices within solutions used to meet the business requirements of CETA customers. This includes providing guidance, support, and advice in the proposal, implementation, and deployment for any new or existing product developments as part of a customer solution. Provides the technical qualification and owns the technical parts of proposals submitted to customers through knowledge of current, new, or evolving technologies and CETA solution portfolios. If interested in this opening, please email resume to roberto.bonilla@sita.aero.
For years, I was living in constant pain. There were days I couldn't move my hands, I couldn't paint, I couldn't write. Honestly, it was so bad I had a hard time even doing work. I tried to tough it out and just grin and bear it until Tanya finally, after we went to the Mayo Clinic, we went everywhere. And Tanya had heard about Relief Factor on the Blaze, and she said, why don't you try that? She kind of pretty much made me try it, and it was amazing. It's been a miracle. Relief Factor is 100% drug-free. It's a daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally, and it was developed by doctors. It uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where the pain starts, and Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with mind over matter. Try Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-4RELIEF. Save on your first order. It's 1-800-4RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Want weather? Grab your phone. Need traffic? Grab your phone. Conservative news and talk, also on your phone. Get the Extra 106.3 app.
Chuck, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Superman, probably one of the best superhero franchises of all time. Best, I don't know. I think he may be even more American than Captain America, but that's just me thinking. I could be wrong about that. The best Superman, definitely.
He's an alien.
What's that?
He's an alien. He's not American.
He's not American.
An alien.
But
he's from another world, man.
I get that, but I mean, it's like when I think
he wandered into one with you and I.
Yeah, he did.
But I just
Captain America was born in Brooklyn.
You picked out an illegal alien and decided to say he's more American than Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Steve Rogers wanted to get involved and fight Nazis more than anything else, and he was a wimp. He was a tiny little American boy. He got beaten up in the streets, and he became one of the greatest heroes, fighting the Nazis, knocking out Hitler with his bare hands.
That's right. And
you say some guy who comes from space and invades and then gets free housing,
wanted to leave his planet.
Right. My friend Trey Gill, born in Puerto Rico, the finest American. My buddy Mike Macho's family is Cuban, migrated here, the finest Americans. Superman was raised in damn Kansas. He has been and live the American dream. He represents everything that is great about America when you move to America.
Yeah, but he crashed here illegally.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter now? Now it doesn't matter?
Now it doesn't?
You know who?
Hypocrite?
No. The reason is because he embraces America. He loves America. He wears red, white, and blue pajamas or whatever those things are.
Yeah. He also, you know what else he did? He destroyed cities by trying to fight everything by himself, knocking down buildings.
It happens. There are casualties of war.
He turned back. Hold on. This man turned back time so he could save Lois Lane rather than the rest. Well, what about the rest of our lives that got messed up because he turned back time?
I don't remember him doing that.
See, because you know what? You lost time.
That's right.
Your life was affected because of this illegal alien you call Superman.
All right, okay, fine. So he's the second best.
Second best. I'll settle for that.
To Steve Rogers.
Okay, so can I say he's second best?
Yeah,
can I get away
fine.
with that? It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
You guys just
he assimilated well.
He did. Okay. Absolutely. Friggin' Joey was.
Well, he was truth, justice, in the American way.
Yeah. He bought in. Look.
Okay, he bought in. He got here. He bought in.
That's what I'm saying, though. But there are plenty of people that have come to America legally.
Okay, but he still should have gotten for citizenship.
Maybe he did. Do you know he didn't?
Oh, yeah, he didn't yet.
You don't know that?
It would have been in the books.
Los, do we know that?
And then he would wear a disguise to just show what he thought of all of us.
Yeah.
You can't even tell.
Weak and silly. Yeah, he put on glasses. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
This is
what a dumb reporter looks like.
Who's the best Superman? Christopher Reeves? I mean, it's got to be, right?
That's classic.
I mean, I can't. I've not seen anything else.
I will say Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
he's
really
done a great job. He does play the part well.
Christopher Reeve's son is going to have a cameo in the upcoming Superman movie. He's going to be a correspondent. And I guess he's really a correspondent for ABC News, which is disappointing. But he's going to be in the new Superman movie whenever that comes out.
I hate to steal Rhino's bit here of turning everything political, but it was funny when somebody went after Dean Cain for his views on transsexualism.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, well, you thought you were Superman. He's like, yeah, we're both pretending.
Yes, I remember saying that.
I was like, okay, that's really funny.
It is pretty
funny. I was like, going after Dean Cain, another Superman that was out there.
But he also, wore costumes and had make-a-believe when he turned into Clark Kent. So there you go.
But
we were both pretending.
I thought it is kind of cool. I like when stuff like that happens. When somebody that's been so important to a movie franchise shows up in said franchise.
Yeah, it's
you know
cool.
what I mean? A spouse or a child, like in this case, Will Reeve. It almost gives me that, like, I kind of might want to see it.
I never got into
Probably not.
the Sopranos prequel that you had with James Gandolfini's son was part of that.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool that he did it.
But it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I always dig that stuff. What is it? But the new Happy Gilmore Part 2 that is supposed to come out. You got, Drew Carey's going to be a part.
Sacrilege.
Is it, do you think?
You can't. Okay, Top Gun Maverick is
that's the standard.
That's the standard bearer by which...
And everything else is sucked besides that.
No, I'm not saying that there's such a thing as a sequel that's not good, okay? Like, that happens. But when you're talking about taking something that was 20, 30 years old and now creating the next version of it, not remaking it, but adding to the story, I think that always is problematic if you don't do it the right way.
Yeah. What was it? Coming to America 2 is a prime example.
It's terrible.
It was awful.
Ghostbusters Afterlife is actually good.
I know, I've not seen it,
that.
and you said it was good.
Yeah.
But what was it? The new Beverly Hills Cop. I'm interested in that, and they're going to bring back Bronson Pinchot. I think that's how you say his last name. The guy that was...
Yes, Bronson Pinchot.
Did you ever get around to watching Roadhouse?
The new one? No.
It's not a...
I love the old
It's not
one.
a sequel. It's just a
remake.
It's just a revision of what it is. And I was like, it's fine.
Okay.
The Double Deuce and now the Roadhouse next to the ocean. That's what it is.
Yeah. So the new Happy Gilmore, though, is going to have... You're going to have Drew Carey in there because he's the new host of The Price is Right.
Right, to make up for Bob Barker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As a tribute to Bob Barker, which I think is good. And then there's somebody else that's in there that is... Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Now I'm going to have to look it up.
I know. And there's going to be so many tips of the hat to what made Happy Gilmore such a great movie. And I think that's so cool, and that makes me want to see it, even though I'm afraid it's going to be terrible. Did you find it? Who else is there?
I'm just kind of taking a quick peek as far as who's the cast.
Is it someone to do with Carl Weathers?
Yes, but I forget what the nature of it is. Anyway, the whole point is Will Reeves is going to make a cameo in James Gunn's upcoming Superman. That's what got the conversation started.
I like James Gunn. I like what he does.
Stepped in it.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
The whole DC thing's kind of falling apart on me.
Is it?
Yeah, they haven't done a great job, and they've got such great storylines, such great characters. They just can't seem to get it right.
I did like The Flash.
I love The Flash. I thought it was
movie
good.
The TV show
well done.
movie. Okay,
the movie that was most recent from the last year and a half, it was actually really well done. The way they kind of reimagined things, had another alternate universe, and Michael Keaton as Batman from 30 years ago shows back up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's well done.
See, that would make me makes me interested in seeing it. And I always like The Flash. He can run fast.
See, that's why I like it. I like it. Well, yeah, he can run fast and everything.
They hired James Gunn as a new creative director because DC was falling apart.
Yeah, James Gunn
he's
is
revamping everything.
He did. Okay. James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, and
that's
many
Trash
good
Pandas.
Marvel.
That's
the Trash
Panda.
Panda. Came from. Bring that back full circle.
Trash Panda. There you go. I'm going to have to find you a hat.
I know what's up.
I would be excited because I thought, Zack Snyder did a really good job with some of the Justice League, and they kind of cut it apart and broke it apart. There is a really good timeline with the DC Comics, and they just, I don't know what they do wrong with it.
Well, you know what they do? They give you a movie like Wonder Woman, which is so good.
The first one,
and then the second one's terrible.
Awful.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So bad.
Same thing with Aquaman.
He talks to the fishes.
Yeah. Yeah,
you got it. You're doing great.
You're doing really good.
You're doing so good right now.
Aquaman, fella.
Yeah, and I haven't watched the new Aquaman only because they kind of ruined I don't know. They just kind of destroyed Aquaman.
I mean, he did think he didn't know Superman was an alien. But that's okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get there. We're getting there.
I knew he's from Krypton. I get it. I know all that. I know all that. But I just thought.
You said he's a better American than Steve Rogers.
I just said he's the best.
I almost got up and slapped you. That's how upset you got. I almost turned into a Democrat.
It's like you were so close to telling me that Hydra was a good American organization.
Okay, God, yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Hydra's like the Democrat Party. They tell you, like, hey, what we're doing is best for the world. In reality, they're just Nazis.
They're not.
Okay. What was the company that
they hide as political leaders?
Something Industries in Spider-Man is the one that created
Stark.
Yep, I think that's it.
Do you know who Tony Stark is? Of course.
Well, you're thinking about Oscorp.
No. Oscorp. That's it.
Oscorp,
Yes.
yes.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
They're terrible. There you go. Okay.
Look at him.
There you
Terrible.
go. That's fair.
And he hasn't seen any of the newer Spider-Man.
No, I've only seen the originals with Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Yeah. Norman Osborn's not a good one.
And I saw all of them. The upside down kiss and everything.
You've got. It was pretty iconic. It was actually cool.
Kristen Dunst was so cute that movie.
Yeah,
she was adorable.
Cutie tootie. Hey,
that was
intern Andrew shaking his head at me.
Well,
no, I don't think she's cute at all.
Because here's the problem: she wasn't all busty and everything else, and so
she was normal.
She just looks mad the whole time.
She was no Sydney Sweeney, so these guys don't get it.
Well,
Look,
no, I get it. Kirsten Dunst was
so cute, right?
I loved her.
Yes, thank you.
She's supposed to be kind of plain Jane cute.
That's right, like Girl Next Door.
Yeah,
that's the whole goal.
Yeah. She is the girl next door. That's
right. That's the whole point.
Sydney Sweeney's like the freaking Playboy,
the bombshell.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, good. That's totally different. Those are
Kirsten
different things.
Dunst was, a bombshell, then she wouldn't have struggled through trying to get on Broadway and all those things. She had to struggle and become a waitress and do that to make the entire storyline.
That's exactly
There you go.
There you go.
See how we've solved this all for everyone.
It's overwhelming for me, and I need a safe space from your BS Superman comment better than Steve Rogers. More American than Captain America.
Man raised in,
oh my gosh.
In Kansas, a man that's truth. And
you're right. I do kind of want to, if I had a glove, I would pull it off and just
smack him.
Bugs Bunny style, slide a brick in there.
And just, no. Just I'd pull it off and just be like,
you sir.
How dare you, sir?
That's right. So I should have said second best. All right.
Yeah. Now you're going to tell me Thanos had a good idea going for a while.
Exactly. And y'all taught me who he is, so otherwise I wouldn't have known. I would have had no idea.
Listen, I had to do this with our former coworker, Brian Hoyt.
He didn't watch any of them either?
He ended up watching a bunch of movies leading up into Avengers Endgame, and all he did was bother me by calling him Purple Shack. He just called Thanos Purple Shack for the longest time until he finally saw it, and then he was like, "Okay, this is the name."
Okay, all right. I'm
Purple Shack. I love that though.
Donald Trump's almost superhero, and I don't say that like I'm worship at the altar of Trump, because I do not. He is a flawed man, just like I'm a flawed man.
Well, hopefully he's faster than a speeding bullet with the Democrats running around saying what they're saying.
Kidding. Good Lord. They're talking about knocking him off all the time. But no, he has that superhero value to him in the fact that he seems bulletproof. All the things that they thrown at him have just fallen away. His time in office was a success, and since he's left office, it's been a disaster. But there is one story shared by Texas Congressman Wesley Hunt that paints Donald Trump into that superhero category that maybe you've not considered before. He, along with Byron Donalds from Florida, were on the Sage Steele show, and they gave their best story about Donald Trump that makes him almost sound superhero-like.
I'm gonna give you my favorite President Trump story. This is my number one favorite of all time. When we were negotiating with the Taliban, while President Trump was still the president, President Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan, but he wanted a conditions-based withdrawal, meaning that you do what we tell you to do, and then we will start pulling troops back slowly as long as you abide by our rules. It's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership in the room, and they had one translator in the room. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: "I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal." And translator translated. And he said, "If you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you." And the translator goes, and Trump goes, "Tell him, tell him what I said." Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home, and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
That is like a superhero story but in reality.
Yeah.
I mean, in real life, that's a story that I've never heard before.
Yeah, it's good.
And it does not surprise me about Donald Trump whatsoever that he would handle it just that way.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to hear that because nobody on the left will ever hear that. And they'll go out and say, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's not real. They're making that up and blah, blah, blah. And then the left will call them racist names and call Sage Steele racist names like they always do. But this is the kind of leadership that we've been lacking. This is why President Biden looks like a complete fool, and people should be worried because on the grand stage, in the world stage, President Biden is a weak, old, feeble man. And everybody's been right about it.
That part of the world, everything's about strength. Everything's about power. Everything is about what kind of damage you can bring to bear if necessary. And so, yeah, Taliban leadership definitely understood exactly what he was saying. And I'm going to
there was no mistake.
No, I'm going to show you this image.
This is your home that I'm about to unload on.
Is there any surprise that you basically had a ceasing of operations as far as violent operations all the way up until right when we were getting ready to leave, and it was all under Joe Biden.
And look at the just continued destruction and continued mess in the Middle East, mess in Russia and Ukraine, mess with China and potentially Taiwan, mess in the Korean peninsula. There's messes everywhere because in 3.5 years, weakness has been portrayed, weakness has been on display. I mean, that story could go down in history as one that would have been similar to Ronald Reagan or George Washington or Abraham Lincoln. It is that quality of story. I mean, this is a story that America has been built on, that strength, that type of leadership.
There's a reason that Putin didn't invade Ukraine. There was a good reason. There's a good reason that North Korea was held in its place and was knowingly afraid of Donald Trump because Donald Trump exudes toughness, exudes the fact that he will hold you responsible for your actions. It's also the fear of the left that the man will hold up what's right and the law and the rule of law, and why he's so dangerous to the left.
Well, what was so damaging for the establishment was that this was a guy who was the same way with our adversaries as much as he was with our allies. If NATO needs us to back them, y'all are all going to pay in here. It's not just going to be us.
As they should.
That's what he flat out told them. It's like the days of America just being the sole one who's being the American policeman and y'all aren't paying into it are over. And so when he goes to speak in North Korea, it's the same message as it was with the allies.
Yep.
It's the same deal.
Yeah.
That's why it was so upsetting to them.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with trade relations and NAFTA and everything else that he's done. You're not going to take advantage of the United States of America. We're not going to continue to foot your bills. We're not going to be the ones that get involved in all of your problems and fix all your problems. That's why it's America first. And that's why it's so important. That's why so many people are starting to come around to realize, hold on, we need to protect us before we can help anyone else. It's an age-old adage. You can't take care of someone else if you can't take care of yourself. And that's what's happening here in this country.
Mom always says charity starts at home, and that is 100% correct. Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra this week is starting out with the boom, and Democrats have done all of this to themselves. And help from the mainstream media that have lied to you for as long as they have. Everything's just fine. Everything's good. Nothing to see here. Next on the Morning Extra, an Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Rhino from the Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
What this all reminds me of is the last scene in The Wizard of Oz, where the guy in the little curtain in the corner is saying, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. That is exactly what is going on in our country today, and I want to thank you guys for pointing it out to everyone in a way in which people don't really have an argument to not understand what you're saying.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Now's the time to put money into your home. Why? Because it's tough to sell, right? You have to have all this equity in your home, and then you're going to use that equity to buy the next home. I mean, it'll be pretty much just a swap. It's not like you're going to keep the money that you've earned in the biggest investment that you have. So my wife and I, we've decided that putting money into our home is the best thing we could possibly do. How do we make our investment worth even more? Southern Exteriors is the answer. Siding, roofing, windows, gutters, painting, they do it all. They can change the outside of your home to make it look exactly the way you want it. Maybe it is the exact way you want it. However, it's just faded a little bit. Is that the siding that's faded? Is it the paint that's faded? Maybe you could do a siding job and a paint job. You could do whatever it is that you have envisioned for your home to make that the envy of the neighborhood. And Southern Exteriors, if you've experienced a leaky roof, man, and we've had some rain lately, we've needed it bad. But I mean, the rain was coming down at our house, if it was at your house too. Were there leaks that haven't been taken care of? Either you've known about them or ones that you've just discovered. Any way it goes, Southern Exteriors can fix what ails your home. So call them today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co, southernexteriors.co.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
When it comes to protecting your assets and ensuring peace of mind, trust the expertise of Nelson Elder Care Law. Our Absolute Protection Trust is designed to provide unparalleled asset protection. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to discover how our specialized services can safeguard your family's future and assets, offering you the assurance you deserve. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
It is so important to prepare in case of any emergency, and there's one place you can do that, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. But before you get into preparing, you need to know everything that goes into preparing. That's why they have all these great classes. They always have an intro to emergency preparedness class. What about a bug out bag? Make sure that you go to their class on that. And also, don't forget, they also do blood drives, everything else. It's your one-stop shop for preparedness. True Prep, Marietta, Cobb Parkway, or online, trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Hey fans, summer is here and you know what that means. Exterior painting season. At Atlanta Painting Company, this summer, save 10% off of all exterior projects and get a free color consultation. We understand how valuable your home is, so protect your investment with our industry-leading warranty and unmatched customer service. Don't just take our word for it. We have over 900 Google reviews telling you why we're the painters you can trust. Ready to get started? Visit us online at atlantapaintingcompany.com to schedule your free home consultation. The Atlanta Painting Company, painters you can trust.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Election coverage is more than polls and numbers. It's about what matters in your life and your community. And Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station cares about your community, your voice, and most importantly, your vote. So keep it all here for the latest and download the Extra 1063 app and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Congress out of recess, back in D.C., and things could not be going worse. Well, for them,
delicious.
Probably good for America.
So fun.
Do it. it's just so expected. I mean, like nobody believed that Joe Biden was okay. But that's the thing. The Democrats and the mainstream media told you everything was okay. They brought this on themselves, Los.
Well, they exposed it to everybody. And once that occurred, and then the only response from the administration and this White House has been, well, let's put him out in public more.
Yeah, right.
So every day we get something else that convinces us, whoa, this dude is broken.
Yeah, this ain't good. Like the Stephanopoulos interview was a complete disaster. The interview in Philadelphia got the host fired. I mean, this couldn't get worse. There's nothing is going to improve for Joe Biden. It can't.
They don't care, though.
Physically can't.
I don't think the Democrats care right now. Let him go out there, and this is their escape plan. Okay, we're going to put him out there. We're going to continue to put him out there. We're going to pretend to continue to support him, and then we'll have a good reason of why we're going to do what we need to do to switch this out and do the bait and switch on the American people and really take democracy out of the hands of our own voters by not allowing them to vote for who they think would be the next best in line, because they won't get a choice. They're going to tell you who you're going to vote for. So this is all part of their plan as far as I'm concerned. They've done this to themselves. They're going to have to scramble, and I think it's going to cost them big time. I think a lot of people are going to step back and say, hold on, I've been lied to for this long. I'm out. And they are not going to go vote for Trump, but they will sit out of this election. So sorry for you.
Well, last week we talked about this being the Game of Thrones moment, and you having all these competing factions that are trying to maintain their power. What it really comes right down to is you have a scenario in which the Democrats really believed that they could rig their own primary and they could push Joe through without anybody noticing that he is obviously in a place where it's dementia.
It's or
what
Parkinson's
it is.
or both.
It's what it is. And they really thought to themselves, if we just hide him in the basement, figuratively, this time around, we'll be able to do the exact same thing we did in 2020.
And well, it's worked before. I mean, where they rigged the primary.
Sure, but you look at what they've done. This is a party that in 2016 rigged it against Bernie Sanders. In 2020, largely did the same thing. They cleared the field. They got everybody out of the way and said Joe's going to be the person. And they did it once again in 2024. And now they're left holding the bag legally. They have very few options outside of the 25th Amendment.
It'll be either Joe Biden will be the nominee, or if he chooses to step down, which he could, because this whole Parkinson thing is about to blow up.
Yeah.
And maybe that forces his hand. I don't know. And then you get Kamala Harris. So that's going to be the next. Those are the only two options for them that I see. But 86% of Americans are 86% of Democrats still support Joe Biden. 86%.
Okay, good. Let them, because they are the sheep. They're the ones that fell for every single lie that the Biden administration and the mainstream media have told them. So they are just afraid to give up and they're being stubborn. They don't care that they've been lied to. Trump is so evil in their minds because the Democrats have done such a good job lying about everything that they say Trump did. They had to invent Russia collusion. They had to invent all the things they did to make him look bad. Those people will continue to believe that, and that's fine. I still think most Americans realize this is not the way this country is going to go. Well, Joe Biden's not going to be the nominee come the DNC.
It'll either be him or Kamala.
It'll be Kamala.
Yeah, now that's possible.
It'll be Kamala.
But otherwise, the only way that they can make him do that is he steps down.
They're going to make him step down.
Well, he's holding all the cards.
He's holding all the cards, that's right.
We're saying, they can make him. They can't make him do anything.
They can't make him do anything.
This is their own fault.
I agree with you.
He's the one who's holding all the delegates. Legally, he's able to do whatever he wants.
Sure.
And that's the fun part about that. That's the hilarious part about all of this.
Okay. That's the rules. Okay, but they don't follow rules.
Fair point.
And the people behind the administration, they don't care. They have all the dirt on him they need, and they have all the dirt on Kamala and everybody else. So they'll be, hey, you want us to destroy the Biden family? You want us to take your entire family down? We'll do that. But step down.
It's going to take something like that wrangling behind the scenes. But
he can be as stubborn as he wants. Jill can be as stubborn as she wants, but they can also go down with that ship.
But they may.
They may.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
They would.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Would it surprise y'all?
We have the Axios story from yesterday that it's going to take an act of God to get rid of him.
Okay? He said it aloud.
They're going down with the ship. All right, like this is where they're at. And
Jill ain't gonna let go.
And legally,
no, she won't let go.
If you just want to talk about the amount of money, it can only be passed along to Kamala Harris. It's not like it can go over to some other party, some other person within the party. This is it. This is the only option. Yep. It is ride or die with Joe Biden. And the comedy of all that is that it's their own damn fault. You actually had a legacy Democrat and Robert Kennedy who's like, I'm ready to run against him, who was polling at 20%. And the Democrats went, we got to get rid of this guy as quickly as possible for a cadaver.
And the funny part is he's further left than the Biden administration with his pick for VP. But I don't know if that would have been his. Nicole Shanahan would not have been his VP pick. If he got the DNC, it would have probably been set up a little bit differently. But yeah, they burned their own bridge.
And he's already said, if they come to me, I will absolutely work with the Democrats. Like he's already ready to abandon ship.
Power hungry too.
That's
they
exactly
all are.
Right. They all are, man.
Big players.
What a loser freaking Robert Kennedy is. Death and destruction to all of it. Anyway, Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3. This is what we've got to look forward to this week. Just this conversation, because it's
going to be all week. This is going to be so much fun.
Oh, you think this?
Enjoy this.
Every day is something new. Wait, I can't wait. This might not even be close to what we're talking about after the craziness that we see. Oh yeah,
the chaos.
We're going to get more chaos.
No question.
Can't wait for it.
Not one Democrat would go on a prominent national Sunday show and defend Joe Biden. Tell you who is speaking out about it and letting you know that was the case next on Xtra 106.3 after a Fox News update.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Xtra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
It must be tough to be a Biden voter right now. Maybe we can find it in our hearts to show them a little empathy and compassion. They are having to pretend to ignore the all too obvious diminished capacity of their presidential candidate.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Xtra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Xtra 106.3 app.
No one plans on going to jail, but at A Second Chance Bail Bonds, we believe everyone deserves a second chance. That's the driving force behind everything we do. If you or a loved one has been arrested across town or across the country, you need help now. A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast with bondsmen throughout Atlanta to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Looking to keep your kids busy this summer? The Atlanta Braves youth baseball and softball clinics offer nonstop fun with an emphasis on teamwork, attitude, and healthy competition. The unique baseball and softball programs will help players ages 6 through 12 develop on and off the field. July's locations include Norcross, Marietta, and Swanee, but make sure to check out all the Metro Atlanta options. And don't miss the softball clinic at Truist Park on July 17th. Visit braves.com/clinics to sign up today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
You know, hindsight is always 20/20, and that is especially true with investing. Almost 30 years ago now, I bought my first gold with Lear Capital, and that investment has quadrupled. Now, I wish I really would have spent some more on that and not listened to all the naysayers. You know, I'm all about education, and that's why I choose Lear. They have a new report on the U.S. debt, de-dollarization, and gold. It was written to help you make intelligent decisions on how to protect and grow your wealth. There's even a section on how to protect your IRA and 401k. After reading this report, I urge you to buy gold. Call Lear. And if you already own gold or silver, you might want to consider getting some more or consider gold for the first time. Lear is the company that I trust to help you secure the one hard asset that has stood the test of time. Get started. Call Lear Capital now at 800-511-3700. That's 800-511-3700. Get their free report today. It's worth the call. 800-511-3700. Tell them I sent you, and they're going to put $250 in your account to help you get started. Remember, 800-511-3700.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
More Democrats don't think President Biden should get 4 more years. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. They're all in the House as Congress returns this week, but the president keeps running for re-election despite concerns about his age and mental fitness, campaigning in Philadelphia.
Honest to God, have never more optimistic about America's future. If we stick together.
But House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries convened top committee lawmakers to see how they feel about backing the president in the 2024 race. AP says Jerry Nadler of New York, Jim Himes of Connecticut, and Mark Takano of California all said the president should step aside.
Fox's Jill Nato. There are also reports Congressman Adam Smith and Joe Morrell, who are Democratic House committee leaders, also want the president to exit the race. Now, this week, President Biden hosts world leaders at a NATO summit in Washington. Helping Ukraine wage war will be a big topic. At least 20 people killed in Russian attacks today in several cities, including the capital.
A daylight bombardment of Kyiv. The biggest for months. Ukraine's largest children's hospital among the buildings hit. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko says windows were smashed and panels ripped off. Parents holding babies seen sobbing in the street outside.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Hurricane Beryl making it a miserable morning along the Texas coast. It made landfall a few hours ago between Corpus Christi and Galveston. Fox Weather's Britta Merwins in Surfside.
We're still being hit by this powerful right side of the storm with 90-plus mile-per-hour winds. And then the storm surge only getting deeper. In fact, high tide is not for another 2 hours. So the water level is only continuing to rise.
Boeing's accepted a plea deal with the federal government on a criminal fraud charge and will pay a fine related to deadly MAX jet crashes overseas in 2018 and 19 that killed 346 people. Some victims' families want a judge to reject that agreement. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
Tired of all the negative media manipulation? Wake up feeling right with a Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Doug Rhino and Los on the Morning Extra. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you listening at 106.3 FM, 1230 AM, extra1063.com, or the Extra 106.3 app, watching on the Extra 106.3 YouTube channel. As you can see, there's plenty of ways to engage with the Morning Extra. Social media at Extra 106.3, at Doug Coward, at Rhino Extra 106.3, at Front Office Low, so you can get a hold of us. So many different ways. 404-741-1230. Already had some calls this morning. And we appreciate everybody who've dialed in, talking about the Superman conversation that we were having a little bit earlier. I tell you, I watched Beverly Hills Cop this weekend.
Yeah.
Axel F. on Netflix. And I chuckled a couple times, but everything was super predictable. I'm not going to give you the spoiler. There is a pretty big star that is 7 degrees of separation, seemingly, from everyone in existence of mankind. He is the bad guy in the movie.
Okay.
And as soon as he shows up, you're like, oh, he's going to be the bad guy.
Sure.
The only thing that was good to me, really, was the fact that they brought back Glenn Fry's The Heat Is On and Bob Seger Shakedown from the earlier.
Yeah, good.
So the music was good.
The music made those movies.
Yeah,
in the
no
80s.
kidding.
Like
Always.
having all that.
We
great.
talked about that. Exactly right. But the movie was just kind of okay.
So I can skip it.
Yes, you totally can. Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna?
Yeah.
I'm not skipping it.
I mean-
I gotta watch it anyway.
So I got the alert from Netflix that there's a new Scientology documentary. I was like, oh, I'm into that.
Yeah.
By the way,
I saw that too. We're gonna watch that one.
And I know you're a Jets fan, but the best thing on TV right now. Don't write it down.
Hard Knocks Giants.
Hard Knocks Giants. I watched it, and again, I was just a throwaway. So Hard Knocks always documents, training camp, right?
That's on Max, right?
Yes. Which you have.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Through me.
Bose.
Yes, you and I trade. In this case, it's the off season with the New York Giants. It shows you all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes with the front office.
Oh, that's cool.
Fascinating. Like,
did you know some
TV.
of the stuff? Or no, it's you learn something.
Well, no, it's just a matter of you understand that there are meetings where you have personnel discussion.
Yeah.
And to watch them as a group bring up different running backs and try and figure out the value of what they should be offering certain guys, including their own and Saquon Barkley, and just to see the whole story of him moving on to the Eagles. Man, it was so good to the point where I can't wait for Tuesday to have another one of these. I mean, it's just so cool to see the behind the scenes work.
How weird is that you actually have to wait for an episode?
I know.
You don't make you do that anymore. I don't make you do that.
I saw the previews for it, and I was like, okay, all right, we're gonna watch that. And girlfriend Erin, was like, oh man, that looks really good. I said, yeah, we're gonna end up having to watch it. But see, I don't want to wait. So I'm like, you know what?
Wait till it's all done, then we can watch it all.
Yeah, I'm still in my all-star baseball moments. I'm still in, I've got a little after Stanley Cup glow going. So I'm ready to move to football, but I'm going to wait until all the episodes are released. I don't know.
Cool to watch.
It looks so good.
I am wildly into it. And the amount of people, especially they were out of New York, like the Craig Cartons of the world, famous guy went to prison. Right back on radio, doing well, and he's like, I can't believe that the Giants did it. I think they're having second thoughts because they're essentially exposing what happens behind closed doors with front offices as far as how they evaluate players.
Well, man, that's fascinating to anybody.
It's so cool.
Wouldn't matter if it were people putting together a movie, right? And they're trying to go through who they want to star in the movie and what we would pay. I mean, that would be interesting too. So anything behind the scenes, you get a little peek behind the kimono, if you will.
Yeah. It is. It was so cool. And again, there's only one of them. It's 1 hour, about 40 minutes worth of runtime. There'll be another one on Tuesday.
That's cool,
I can't wait.
Yeah, I think I could even be interested in that.
Yeah, I need to bank up a few before I start to watch it. I watched The Killer Speaks this week.
What is that?
This is where they find people who have been are in prison for life for multiple crazy stories like you may never have heard, and they actually have the killers come up out of the cell to tell you what was going on in their head. Not one of these people who, these are horrific crimes. I mean, the killings, their mental state to this day is, I still believe they deserved it. And it's like, wow. You want to talk about some of the craziest people in this world? This one guy was so messed up on PCP that he thought the feds were following him, so he went and killed his ex-girlfriend thinking she called the feds. I mean, killed his mother, killed her mother, killed his stepfather, just went on this crime spree in New York. I don't even remember it, but apparently went through this entire crime spree, killing everybody. And when he was done, he's like, yeah, they're all feds. I don't care. They all deserved it. You know what? What's done is done. They're gone. They're bad people, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, wow, this guy is nuts.
By the way, my crazy meter has once again, slammed over into the red and was totally right. Because, yes, when I watch, The Killer Speaks, I know, okay, the crazy people.
Yeah, they're crazy, yeah.
Remember, I always had a problem with Sketch and the fact that the Twitch star that I was like, there's something weird about this dude. Well, I was introduced to him on NFL draft weekend because he ended up making a pick for the Houston Texans like in the 4th or 5th round.
Yeah, my son had introduced me to him about 8 months ago, something like that. And I've kept up with him, and I kept trying to tell him. I was like, dude, this is an act.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He was like, no, it's real. And then finally, he's kind of come around, and he's like, oh, yeah, it is an act. So he's just...
Liam hasn't even found him yet, so I'm like, all right, I'm in the dark.
He's an influencer on social media.
Well, the back room with Joe and Andrew, they're having some problems right now because apparently it's come to light that he was quite the proponent of posting stuff in gay OnlyFans.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Oh. Well, then there you go. Well, I mean...
There's a lot of content that features somebody who looks a whole lot like Sketch.
Is it him, or are y'all debating whether it's him?
It's got to be
It's
him.
totally him.
We're pretty sure it's him.
Okay. Yeah. Well, good for him. Everybody
he has like
needs
a birthmark.
love,
Birthmark.
Whoa.
Birthmark on his
How much are you watching of this, Joe? Now I'm getting worried about you.
It's forehead.
The Twitter sleuths have
got it.
So
done the work.
So basically, Twitter, along with Twitch, along with Sketch, have been on fire for about 12 hours.
Oh, wow. Man, this is about
God. Look, and I'm just saying, young men everywhere are going, I knew there was something wrong with this dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was clear something was wrong. I mean, you just knew something was...
I'm just saying, if you want to make your money doing what you're doing, okay, that's totally fine. Mm-hmm. It's just that once what you used to do in the past shows up, you can't really run from it.
Yeah, no, you have to embrace it head on.
I'm shocked it took this long for somebody to figure this out.
Yeah.
Well, how many people watch that?
Seriously. And how did you?
There's probably not a lot of crossover.
Yeah. The joke was...
More than you think, I guess.
Who's the dude on that side of OnlyFans that found the content?
Joe.
It's like, hey, this looks like Sketch.
Does it change the way you feel about him?
No.
Okay, Andrew?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I think I would probably check out.
I was never like streaming his stuff. I just think he's funny on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly, right.
But
wow,
you're still funny on TikTok.
So, Andrew, you're OnlyFans phobic. So,
I mean,
so am I, Andrew. No worries.
Yeah, me too.
But again, my weird dar went off, and I was like,
you said it from the beginning.
Let's do weird. Like there's something a little weird here.
I gave my wife nightmares the other night.
Oh no.
I watched I was hooked on Shark Fest.
Yeah.
And we stayed up way too late on, so I guess it was Friday night or Saturday night, whatever night it was. And I was watching just nonstop shark attacks, shark bites, Megalodon. I watched a whole hour-long documentary on what Megalodon would have been.
You're a shark expert now.
I'm not an expert, but I'm so fascinated by sharks. Man, and those Megalodon, like, teeth that they found are like the size of your hand.
Wow.
Those things are gigantic. They said a Megalodon could swallow a great white with no problem.
Did you see over the weekend the multitude of shark attacks on South Padre Island, Texas?
I did. Absolutely. One lady lost her leg, I believe.
I mean, that calf was gone.
Yeah, at least the calf. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, man. And that was all in, like, I don't know, knee-deep water. It wasn't like it was in huge,
Yeah, the word has been that just, again, it's seasonal and it's just what happens. But apparently... around the country, you now have whatever they feed on moving closer inland.
Yeah, 2 on 30A a couple weeks ago.
And so apparently it has now created the scenario where more sharks, and again, we call it an attack. These are test bites.
Yeah.
But there's no such thing as like a no big deal test bite.
Yeah, because usually it's they bite, they realize it's humid, it doesn't taste good, and they let it go.
Mm-hmm. Or they go, oh, that's edible, and they still let it go.
Yeah, right, yeah. But fascinating. I'm so fascinated by sharks. But
you and the Meg?
Yes, absolutely, dude. It's so cool. I'd heard about the Megalodon. I'd never really read about it, but to see this hour-long documentary.
You got to watch now the Meg and the Meg 2, those documentaries.
No, thank
exactly.
you.
Those are in-depth documentaries.
Yeah, right. I think I'll pass. But Shark Fest is always fun.
You watch Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I think I'll just go back and watch Jaws over again, right?
But that's not
classic.
A Megalodon. That's not cool.
I know, but it's classic, though. That's real.
It is.
That's real. You know? Because it last week where they saw the big, huge 9-foot great white off of Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket or something. Anyway, Joe Biden is in bad shape. We know that. They've known that. They've told you lies. The media has lied to you with a straight face. And now that they have been exposed for lying to you, they're in just chaos. They're turning on each other. They're turning on the Democrat Party. They're turning on Joe Biden, acting like, oh, it was the White House that was misleading us. That's why we were reporting all this. Well, why would you take the White House at their word? Like, what would be the reason you didn't do the investigative work that you're supposed to do as a journalist? That's because they don't. They're shills for the Democrat Party. 96% of the media is Democrat. They all donate to Democrat causes and to Democrat candidates. So what is the perspective you expect to get? Shannon Bream on Fox News Channel tried to get anyone, to come on Fox News Sunday to defend Joe Biden, and they came up with 0 people.
Now, before we get to our guests, I want you, the viewers at home, to know something. Our team has spent days reaching out to dozens of lawmakers and Biden advocates and allies. We've had numerous interactions with the Biden-Harris campaign, but not a single potential guest was either able or willing to join us on today's show to defend the president and his decision to stay on the ticket. So we will be having a conversation without that voice, which we have been working around the clock to avoid.
No surprise there. Nobody is willing to go on national television and be like, yes, Joe Biden is just fine.
I saw this on Sunday, and initially, even though we'd seen how everything was playing out during the weekend, initially I just thought to myself, okay, well, no big deal. That's fine. They couldn't find anybody. But it was a statement unto itself. No one will join any one of these cable networks. If you are within the inner circle, or you're somebody who's directly going to be influenced by Joe Biden at the top of the ticket, no one will go to bat for him right now.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't go bat for him if I wanted to have a political career at this point, because I think this is so big that if you go on and defend him at this point, your constituents are going to look at you, and some of them may still support you, but a lot of them are going to say, hey, why do you continue to lie about his well-being? He's not well. In fact, he's being abused by his family and by whoever, probably Barack Obama behind the scenes. So I think that this is a down ticket thing that a lot of Democrats want to get away from. There's a reason that Warnock did not want him here in 2022. There was a good reason for that. Warnock didn't want him campaigning for him because he was old, because he was feeble. That was part of it. Way back then. I know that nobody wanted to see it. We brought it up, and now you're seeing it again. And now on top of that, you are seeing everyone else start to move away, so they'll all move away from him because this is what they do. They are one mind. That's it. So they'll all start to move away. He's the only one that will stand there.
But this comes down to, this is like almost the leper situation. All right, somebody's got leprosy. Get away. Okay,
get away.
Everyone looks at him right now and says, you're a leper. Let's move away. And initially, the plan was, all right, we're going to call, and this is where you talk about the comedy of watching some of these leftists. They have issues with, all they could say was, well, Donald Trump was lying during the debate. And their initial plan was, let's say that Donald Trump was lying, and let's say that he was yelling over at Joe Biden, and this is how he was distracting him. And by the way, he's a convicted felon, and we're going to do better. The problem is that none of them, at least enough of them in number, have bought into it. It was like 48 hours where they were playing the game, and it just turned into by Friday of last week, this is over with. It's Joe versus everybody else.
And now you have leftist outlets like the Daily Beast that is saying, their headline is, it's time to get used to the idea of President Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, however, says there's not a chance unless the good Lord in heaven tells me I need to step down, will I step down?
And if Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi come down and say, we're worried that if you stay in the race, we're going to lose the House and the Senate, how will you respond?
I go into detail with them. I've spoken to all of them in detail, including Jim Clyburn. Every one of them. They all said I should stay in the race. Stay in the race. None of the people said I should leave.
But if they do?
Well, it's like, they're not going to do that.
You sure?
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, If the Lord Almighty came down and said, Joe, get out of the race, I get out of the race, the Lord Almighty's not coming down.
So you got a guy that can't put together a sentence, and then you're going to yield the right of way to a woman that can't put together a sentence.
And the comedy of it is that as of even yesterday, Clyburn nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be.
Crickets.
These people have decided they've seen which way the wind is blowing, and they're adjusting accordingly.
They're trying to figure out, hey, can we push Kamala? Can we push her enough to win this? And they can't. They don't have an option. It wouldn't surprise me if they tried to go back to Joe at one point. If the numbers started moving in a different direction, they would turn coat again and go back to Joe and be like, yep, okay, hold on. We think we have momentum. I don't think they will. I think they realize how bad this is. They want Kamala Harris in. It's the only way they think they can save this. But at the same time, there is nothing they can do. This is totally out of their control at this point. There is so much work they would need to do. I wouldn't put it past them to do it. I wouldn't put it past them to cheat in certain ways. And look, we're already seeing drop boxes being put out and local governments voting on drop boxes and ways to try to win this election again. I don't know. It's I just can't imagine anybody sticking by his side. There's no way.
Well, keep in mind, you do have, as the Axios report has it, where basically Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, they have isolated the president, and now everything is based on run, Joe. This is what you're going to do. You're going to win, Joe. This is how it's going to be. The interesting part about that is that legally, Joe has all the power right now.
Sure does.
Yeah, because he's got all the delegates. It's
so
already
he's able to sit back. He's able to hold, and isn't it so much fun that for a party that basically told you it's all about saving democracy, they're keeping democracy hostage.
Yeah.
They sure are.
These clowns have done it to themselves, and it is humorous to see. It makes me, I feel terrible for Joe Biden. I really do, because any human being in decline, especially with dementia and what we expect now is Parkinson's, because my father-in-law has Parkinson's. It is a debilitating disease, and it is a very sad, slow process. And so I feel bad for him as a human. As far as the Democrat Party, it can burn down.
I'm scared for him. I'm scared for him because
they might off him. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I mean, listen. How much would that mean if he passed away overnight? Hey, we've got to continue his legacy. We got to continue what he wanted to do. He gained so much emotional support. Yeah. That's scary.
Whew. The fact that we would even
put it past the Clintons.
No kidding. The fact that we would even entertain that discussion is how, I don't know, gross. Yeah, gross.
It's disgusting.
But how desperate the Democrats are right now. Goodness. A power-hungry first lady is headed to Georgia to try to secure her power. Next on the Morning Extra, we'll hit the headlines too. This is Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Listen, whatever way is most convenient for you, let us recommend the Extra 106.3 app. Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Extra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
On this day in 2019, 11-judge panel from the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals decided to review its decision on whether Led Zeppelin plagiarized Stairway to Heaven from the opening guitar riff on Spirit's 1968 track, Taurus. What are we listening to here, Flounder? Which one is this? Is this Led Zeppelin or Taurus?
This is Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. The fact that you had to ask that question.
I don't know that. I never liked the song. When they started playing this music, I'd try to listen to the freaking Beach Boys so you can all eat me. How about that? I hate this crap. What's that dancing music?
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
On this episode of The Real Houses of Atlanta.
Whoa, Bobby, what's going on?
Well, now that I'm the HOA president, I'm going to start cracking down on the neighborhood.
With a sledgehammer?
Oh, look, this place is looking rough, and nobody's moving right now either. So I'm telling the neighbors it's time to fix up the homes they have.
And what do you suggest?
Well, I'm telling everybody on the block about Exovations. They're right here, and they can get your house the facelift it needs. We're talking new siding, roofing, windows, doors, decks, even porches, patios, and porticos. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start with Jim next door. Hey, Jimmy, you got a window out. Check the bylaws.
Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Avoid an HOA headache and let us give your home the facelift it needs. We'll introduce you to our ExoVision, our very own architectural design that allows you to envision your home's transformation before you even start the project. Ready for your on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation? Visit exovations.com and book your consultation today.
It either is or it isn't. When it comes down to it, that's all that really matters when choosing a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. It's either certified by Mercedes-Benz factory-trained and certified technicians, or it isn't. It's either backed by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 7 years, or it isn't. It's absolute confidence in genuine Mercedes-Benz parts, or it isn't. Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz Dream Days sales event, now through July 31st. Come in today and take advantage of finance rates as low as 2.99% APR special financing on select models. Because in the end, it's either Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned, or it isn't. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Not all offers apply to all vehicles, and special financing available to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Services through July 31st, 2024. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call 770-390-0700 for details.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
I got a question. Is your dog a picky eater? Or maybe has bad breath, dull coat, low energy, or even some digestive issues? Greetings. I'm naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, founder of Rough Greens, and for decades, I've taught humans how nutrition is critical for our optimal health. Well, the same is true for our furry family members, which is why I created Rough Greens, because unfortunately, dog food is dead food. But Rough Greens is packed with live omega oils, essential vitamins and minerals, powerful probiotics, digestive enzymes, and tons of other things. And your dog will love it. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve their health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens, the easy and smart way to improve your dog's health and longevity. My dogs and I are so confident your dog's going to love it, we're going to give you a free Jumpstart trial bag. All you have to do is cover the shipping. Get your dog a free Jumpstart trial bag today by going to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com.
Extra 106.3 and Fox are red. CNN and CBS are blue. If you want conservative news and talk, we have just the app for you. Search for the Extra app wherever you download apps.
Danny Trejo's had a couple rough days. His Chihuahua Winn-Dixie has died. He posted about it. He said if you got fur babies, hug them because his little Chihuahua had died. And then he got into a fight on the 4th of July. During a parade, he and his friends got hit by a water balloon. The last dude on earth I'm hitting with a water balloon is Danny Trejo. I know he's kind of like a big softy, but that's not always been what he was.
I know that he's 80 and he's been to prison.
That's right. I'm telling you, he could do damage on you, and he's cut up. This is Danny talking about he and his buddy after getting hit by the water balloons.
I'm so sad that I behaved the way I behaved. I'm so sad that grown men got to throw water balloons. I don't think I would have even got out of the car if somebody hadn't yelled, "It's acid." I immediately got out to look at the hood, and then when I got out of the car, I looked, boom, then a balloon hit me, and then I looked up and I see a guy. I don't know what in the hell is wrong with you. So when he grabbed me, I stepped back and I fell off the curb. I'm sad. Yeah. I'm just sad that there's still people like from the 50s and 60s that still feel the same way because no one else was targeted.
Come on, you got a classic lowrider in a parade. That's the last thing you want is to get water on it.
I would be embarrassed if I attacked an 80-year-old man and he's still talking and laughing.
Dude, that's so true. Like he's like, these people are fools, and he's handled it well. It seems, but that to be the last dude that I want to piss off.
No.
Danny Trejo, come on. Remember him in the...
He looks bad.
He looks like a bad man.
He looks like he's going to cut your head off.
He does. Remember him in the Snicker commercial?
Yes.
Shut up! When he was the Marshall. So good.
Well, it was so weird to see him get out of the car and then go over to the curb, and the dude strikes him, knocks him down. And you're like, oh, it's Danny Trejo. And then you're like, but he's 80 years old.
That's right.
I'm like, what are you punching an 80-year-old man for?
What the hell's wrong with you? I agree with you, man. It's so weird.
Like, you threw a water balloon, and then you decided the next best thing would be, now that he's upset, now I'm going to punch him.
Yeah. It's so bizarre. The whole thing is freaking weird. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand, who had this great idea? I got a great idea.
Yeah.
We're going to throw water balloons at an 80-year-old man. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get it. It's just so dumb. All of it's dumb. But, and then the fact that he felt like that it was a racial thing, I think it's more about his fame. Maybe I'm wrong. It's more about the fact that he's famous. How do we get somebody's attention? How do we get more attention on social media with our antics? Is we pick a very famous person. Mm-hmm. It seems to be the way it goes. But anyway, just the fact that they did that to him is dumb, especially the couple days after he lost his Chihuahua dog. Sucks.
He joined the 38th Street gang in Los Angeles as like a teenager.
Yeah.
This is not a dude you mess with.
Yeah, he's seen some things. Something tells
He's probably done some things.
He's probably done some things. Exactly right. But he's in better shape. Did y'all hear him talking, though, when we played that clip, how well put together he is? He's 80.
Yeah, he's
Joe Biden is not well put together like Danny Trejo.
No.
Maybe we should have Danny Trejo.
Trejo
for president. That's who I'm voting for. Give me the opportunity. I'd vote for him. But 80 years old, though, so that's the thing. Dude, he and speaks clear. There's no mumbling. Everything that he said, I understood, and I knew what he was talking about.
Because it's not linear. Everyone ages differently.
And that's no doubt about that. Jill Biden, however, is coming to Atlanta to make sure that she can secure her power, Rhino. She's not letting this go.
No, she's not going to let it go, and she's got to continue to play the game. They can't put him out as much as they want to. So now
although they said they're going to.
Of course they look
and have,
but we know better than that.
Well, no, but they have. It just keeps blowing up in their face.
Well, they're only giving him like one thing a day to do, and that's what he's going to do. Her job is to be in 3 different states today. He can't do that, so that's her job. She's going to go to 3 southern states, and she's going to pander to certain groups. They don't know what to do with her. It's almost as if they're trying to get her out of the way while up in Washington, D.C., they're going to take care of things. But she'll be here in Georgia. She's going to Columbus, Georgia, which I find to be an odd place. But she knows there's no room for her in Atlanta or Fulton County or those areas right now. So now they're in Columbus, Georgia, which I think is a little bit peculiar knowing that, well, Fort Benning's down there. It's a very military area with military families who, if I start to think about it, might be really upset with Joe Biden because Joe Biden promised everybody or made the swear that no American soldier was killed under my watch.
Yeah.
I think it's very weird that they moved her to Columbus, Georgia for this.
Think about the idea that after a disastrous debate, your next idea is to get Joe Biden out in public as much as possible, including ABC, and to do an interview and to try and curtail all of this stuff. And what happened yesterday? He showed up at a church in Philadelphia and proceeded to freeze. Just stopped, went into screensaver mode, and you're sitting there the 25 longest seconds you've ever watched, and you're like, why is he frozen that way? All right, what is today's schedule? Nothing. There is zero. His daily brief is in 3 hours. All right? We will have already been done with a radio show
by the time
the president gets his daily brief, when he's finally awake at 10:45 for the briefing.
And knowing that the world is on the brink of potentially World War III with everything that's happening with Lebanon, with everything that's happening in Russia and Ukraine, the Chinese, we know that they're angling to take America down. That is their stated goal. That's their number one goal. And it's always been, but now they're closer than ever before. I mean, their military is larger than ours. Some would say it's even functioning better than ours because ours seems to be in shambles. We can't get ships out to sea and aircraft in the air. And the leader of the free world doesn't learn about whatever threat is facing America in his daily brief until
10:45.
10:45, sorry.
Yeah. And KJP will then go ahead and get in front of the nation at 1:30 this afternoon.
And tell everybody how great it is. And everything's nothing to see here.
That's it.
Yeah, you see how he can lead. You see how he's led over 3 years. He's still great.
This is all. That's his schedule. Man, for those of you out there who have been with us for quite a while, you're so fortunate. And I'm glad you are. But you are so fortunate that when we talked about the functionality of the president, and we talked about how it is a limited window from about 11 o'clock until 4 o'clock every single day, and anything outside of that gets pretty sketchy. Okay, it's played out. It's shown itself. Because he's now showing up at places in the morning and having these issues, now they're going to start scaling even further back. This is going to be a week where the Democrat Party is going to go so hard at Joe Biden in this White House, and yet the White House is circling the wagons and basically saying, we're not giving up the delegates, we are running.
Yeah. I mean,
and again, because Jill loves the power.
Yeah, no, she does. Look, and we were talking about Columbus and the fact that is, a military town. Everything around Columbus and Columbus proper all voted blue.
Yeah.
So it's Atlanta, Columbus, Heartmaking, Augusta, Savannah, like the big metropolitan. I mean, I don't know if you call it metropolitan Columbus, but the point is they do have a welcoming committee there for Democrats.
Oh, of course. Well, they opened a campaigning office there, and this isn't going to be a big. Look, this isn't a Trump rally. People aren't going to be coming from Augusta. People aren't going to be coming from all over. They are going to probably. They haven't mentioned where she is going to be as of yet. Maybe they have. I haven't seen it. I was trying to look because I just figured it'd probably be maybe a black church. Maybe some kind of church in general that they felt was left, which usually is a black church for the pandering Democrats. They always go there to tell, hey, please don't leave. She's obviously looking to move some needle with the minority voters, so I'd assume it'd be in that kind of area there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a blue area along with some of those areas outside of that area. But it's just they're keeping her out of Atlanta. If you're going to make the message for black votes, you'd think it happened here. They pander here all the time.
I know they do.
So.
But maybe it's just because Kamala was just here. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe trying to hit a different audience. I don't know.
Or they're like, hey, nobody cares about you anymore, Joe. Go to Columbus. Go down to Columbus. That's fine.
Could be a little bit of that for sure. Whitney Tilson is a Democrat mega donor and is basically saying, it's time, Joe. It's time.
You have said, I know that privately, a number of Democrats have shared their concerns with you. Reed Hastings, one of the party's biggest donors, just told the New York Times he now thinks it's time for Biden to step aside. Do you think these more public pushes from yourself, from other donors, from lawmakers will bring more people forward publicly?
I think that the dam has broken and that more and more people will come out publicly. I can tell you with certainty that as recently as last Friday and Saturday after the debate, there were quite a few people who felt like it was just an off night. As of today, I can't find anybody, even and I am a hardcore Democrat and Biden supporter. I love Joe Biden. I respect the fact that he's an optimist, that he's a fighter, and that has served him well in the 52 years since he was first elected to the Senate. But it's different today, I'm afraid. The ship has sailed, and there is basically almost no support remaining for him as the candidate. Not against him personally, but because nobody thinks he can beat Trump. And I think, unfortunately, that's correct.
The thing that I took away in his statement is, I thought maybe it was an off night. What?
Yeah.
Like, how did you get this wealthy and become a mega donor and thinking that Joe Biden just had an off night during the debate? You are a fool, sir.
Well, not everybody that gets wealthy by corruption is always smart.
I don't know
right?
how he got wealthy.
Well,
so
I don't either, and I'm not saying he's getting, from corruption, but there are plenty of stupid people with money. It happens all the time. This person is somebody who obviously falls into the delusion and the lies of the Democrat Party, so this is something that he is now all of a sudden going, hold on one second, but this is your fault. You donated to this man. You're telling me you didn't know?
Recently. Up until recently, he donated.
We all knew in 2019 that this man was suffering and that this man wasn't able to do the job. You fell for the trap. It's time for, look, you have to stick with it now. You're the one who put him in office. All of your mega donors did.
I don't know that they're sticking with him, though. They're abandoning ship like, rats off the Titanic.
Okay, go ahead. I don't care if you put a Kamala up or Biden up. I think it's a bad choice for both of them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, it's really about, and this comes down to the money being donated to the party. Not so much just to Joe Biden and re-election, because that is drawing up, and I think that they realize that. But you have so many people down ballot that need the money in order to win their race. And
that's where it hurts the most. Yeah.
And that's where it's hurting them. The idea of trying to talk about Kamala or Joe, again, to me, it's both of them are ancillary characters in this. I mean, it's going to be intriguing to watch how this all plays out, but both of them are going to lose.
Yeah,
that's just how
no
it's
doubt.
going to be.
Yeah, that's the truth.
What it's going to come down to is how badly do the Democrats want to try and rearrange the finances of what's going on in the election to make sure that they can conserve as much power as possible, because Joe at the top of the ticket or Kamala at the top of the ticket, both of them are losers. They know that. What happens through the rest of it?
Yeah. That's the interesting part.
Because the people that are upset are the ones that are in an election that are going, oh my God, Joe's killing me.
Those are the people that they can't get to show up.
And oh, by the way, we can't get any money donated because Joe's at the top of the ticket.
Yeah, I don't know that Kamala would change that at all.
No, not at all. I mean, you have to get rid of both of them. That's the only chance you have at this point. And that's, it could happen, but it's not going to. I just can't imagine it happening at this point. It's almost too late. Yeah. And I think you just ride with Joe Biden at this point, unless, of course, they come up with a way to make him sick.
Remember, you're sitting.
I meant like permanently sick.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You're sitting in a place where, in the state of Georgia, in Nevada, also Wisconsin, these are places where in swing states, legally, you can't do anything. The voters have already had their say. They want Joe Biden on the ballot. Now, the Democrats arranged for that to happen, and so now they have to sit in it. It's what it is.
It's Joe versus the world, or as we'd say in the South, Joe versus all y'all. We'll talk about that next on Xtra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, 7 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Van Sant Law. If you're in an accident, make the right call. VanSantLaw.com. We'll knock out the headlines when we come back, too.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays, anywhere on the Xtra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Xtra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Monday, July 8th. Atlanta police are investigating after a 19-year-old was shot during an argument. Officials said the victim was visiting a friend when he got involved in an argument with a suspected shooter. The suspect shot the 19-year-old 3 times, one in each of his legs and once in the arm. The 19-year-old is stable at Grady as they continue to investigate the late-night shooting. Atlanta police are also investigating a shooting that left windows shattered at the Midtown offices of Invesco. Officers received reports of shots being fired, but did not find anyone injured or any shell casings. It wasn't until property managers, along with police, found multiple windows damaged and multiple shell casings in the area. There are no suspects, and investigators are asking if you have any information to please call the Atlanta Police Department. And in sports, Adam Duvall, Jared Kelnick, Matt Olson, and Eli White all hit homers for the Braves as they beat the Philadelphia Phillies 6-0 yesterday. Reynaldo Lopez threw 6 scoreless innings in the win. Lopez was named to this year's All-Star game along with the Big Bear, Marcell Ozuna, and fellow starter Chris Sale. The Braves are back in action tonight at 9:40 when they head to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
Most recently, I saw a really cool T-shirt that it said, because I'm a Georgia fan, it said, Georgia versus all y'all. And that's the way Joe Biden's kind of living right now.
It is so much fun this week. I am so excited. There are times when it comes to what we do in politics that, things, they don't get slow. They just get a little stale. Where you kind of see where everything's going, that's how it's going to be. This is not. This is palace intrigue. This is, just ponder this. We did a show on Wednesday before we left for vacation, and we talked about how it was going to be Joe Biden and his White House versus everybody else. And then within hours, 4 hours later, by the time we finished up that segment, you had the New York Times floating a story that was clearly planted that Joe was getting out of the race, to the point where he had to then have a phone call to tell everybody, I'm not leaving the race, I'm going to win. By the evening, he then goes on television and says, I'm going to win, I'm going to beat Donald Trump in 2020.
Yeah, right.
Okay? Just reinforcing the fact that we all know, here's what the problem is. It's truly, this is all about this coup that is going on within our government and him trying to fight it out. And again, he's got the legal standing to do it, but everybody else wants him and the Bidens out.
Yeah, they do. And they're doing the work behind the scenes to figure out how they could possibly, if possible, can they replace this man and Kamala Harris at the same time. That's their biggest hurdle right now is, can we actually make this happen? Can we get the ballots to work in our favor? Can we get to these states and have them look at it? Can we get to the DNC and get this nomination process changed? This is going to be the biggest problem for the Democrats. They'll do everything they can to circumvent this problem, but I think they're stuck with this problem.
Yeah, they're stuck with it. There's nothing they can do that I can tell.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything that even looks
now you just
like
ride
a possibility.
it. Ride it out.
And so what's so interesting about this to me, and there are the crazy people on Twitter, and they're a minority, but they're out there. They have not gotten the new download that tells them that they're supposed to be against Joe Biden yet.
Yeah.
Like, they're still doing the, hey, Trump is lying and Joe's our guy. It's like, hold on. Understand that if you're saying that, you're in the minority of Democrat thought right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but, again, I think it's just their stubbornness. I think it's their embarrassment of being fooled and duped.
They're behind.
Yeah, but aren't they always behind? They've been behind for 4 years on this. No, they're always behind. They're going to play the game that the Democrats continue to tell them to play, and they're going to fight with this. They're going to switch to whatever thing they can pick up on. Oh, Trump's project 2025 is too dangerous for America. Right. Let's throw that out there. It's not Trump's policy. They'll lie about that. They're just trying. They're all in panic. They don't even know what to do until the brass tells them, wait, here you go. This is your new talking point. This is your rhetoric to throw out there. But until the leaders tell them what to say, they're lost.
4 years they've been in lockstep. Mm-hmm. Joe's fine. Joe is smart. It's just a stutter. Yeah. That's all it is.
He had a cold.
Or he had a cold. And then you know what? He had a cold, but then he went over to Waffle House because Joe was totally fine.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You now have, in the last 10 days, a total realization that this is all false.
Uh-huh.
And now the updated talking points have not gotten to everyone as of yet.
You're right, but
they haven't gotten their download.
The problem is,
I love the way you say that.
The problem is the people who are waiting for the talking points aren't going to change them. They're not going to be mad at the right people. They're not going to be mad at the people that misled them.
Oh, no, of course not.
They're going to wait anxiously to get whatever they're supposed to say.
It's interesting, and this is the nature of man, and this is very much the nature of communists, because you do not look at free will as something as being a virtue within that area of political thought. They're all waiting to be told what to think. That's it. They're waiting to be told what to think.
That is a human flaw, for
yes,
sure.
it absolutely is. You have to be a certain level of virtuous to be able to believe in and subscribe to free will, that I'm going to think what I'm going to think, and if you want to prove me wrong, prove me wrong. Totally cool. Change my mind. But these people look at it as, I don't know what to think. Tell me what to think, and then I'll go and espouse it from here.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, what am I supposed to say when I'm at a water cooler and somebody who might be a little bit more conservative or Republican leaning, I don't have anything to say, let me go and hide now. That's what this is going to be until they do get their download and what the momentum is, because I don't even think the brass knows at this point. None of them in the White House understand or know what they're going to do yet. They're going to try to figure it out. Once they do, they'll throw it out there. They will go down that path of women's rights and Project 25 and the threat to democracy, and they'll keep running with that.
Well, you're going to have a faction of people that are going to be incensed when they realize that from a legal perspective, Joe Biden holds all the cards.
Yeah.
Because once they get the new download, which is, we can't win with Joe, we got to move on, here's what we have to do. When they can't do it, watch how fast they turn on him. Because they looked at Joe. Well, but in mass.
Yeah.
Like the regular Democrat does not fully get yet. Like, I spent a lot of time talking with my wife about this over the weekend. I told her what was going on when we were heading to Alabama. And by the time she started to see how everything was playing out and started to watch these videos and listen to this stuff, she was like, oh my God, they're all at each other's throats. And I was like, yes. Now, she's at the 1 percentile. She gets it. She sees what's going on. 99% of them are still sitting back going, wait a minute, what exactly is happening? I thought Joe was fine.
Yeah, I've been told
okay, well, Joe will just ride this out. And Hunter Biden and Jill Biden are largely playing the game of, let's just get to the next news cycle. Well, the next news cycle's here now.
That may be why that 86% of Democrats still say they support Joe Biden in the polling over the weekend, because they've not gotten...
Just wait.
Right, because Stephen Colbert is still telling them Biden's the greatest.
Is he?
That's
I don't
who
know.
they listen
I've not
to.
seen him.
Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, all of them. That's all they keep talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not seen what they've said, but I do know that a lot of people are still
Stephen
supporting.
Colbert is mad at the media for actually covering President Biden's age.
Of course. I've seen what Joe Biden is dealing with up close, and now Alex Berenson is confirming my exact thoughts.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
Well, I've talked about blatant media bias ad nauseum. Here is one of the greatest examples I have ever seen of what I've been ranting and raving about. It appeared in my hometown newspaper, the Naples Daily News. Now, let me tell you, the Naples Daily News is owned by Gannett, the same people that own USA Today. So in reality, the Naples Daily News is nothing but a local version of USA Today. Here is the headline that appeared. Final confirmation. Florida government imposes fee on Disney World leaders. And the picture is a picture of the castle at the Magic Kingdom and a somewhat angry Ron DeSantis. Now, you are supposed to think that the feud between Disney World and Ron DeSantis has progressed to the point that Ron DeSantis is now imposing a fee on people who want to visit Disney World. That's not it at all, not even close. What is the fee? Some amendments to the law that authorizes red light cameras in Florida. The fee for running a red light caught on a red light camera, $158. So far, a pretty straightforward story. But then it says this: guests driving to Walt Disney World Resort should exercise caution. A red light camera violation in Florida comes with a $158 fee. No, it's not a fee. It's a fine. Then the story goes on. Who wants to tack that expense onto an already pricey visit to the Magic Kingdom? Then later on in the story, it says that this law doesn't directly target Walt Disney World, but Governor DeSantis has a history of targeting legislation at the Walt Disney World Company. So there you go, folks. A law imposing a fine for running a red light, according to the Naples Daily News, is a fee on visitors to Disney World. You can't make this stuff up. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Customer service seems like a lost art these days, but EMC Security is bringing it back. I was blown away with their service. They answer the phone quickly and truly want to help you, which is rare these days. My technician was friendly, answered all my questions, and got everything installed perfectly. I highly recommend EMC Security.
EMC Security, exceeding customer expectations since 1998. Call or visit emcsecurity.com for a free quote.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to the Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
President Biden under even more pressure to stop running for re-election. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. But as more Democrats worry about his age and mental fitness, the president keeps going, campaigning in Philadelphia.
There's more to do to deliver jobs and justice. There's more to do. But above all, we need to protect our rights. The rights of all Americans.
Fox's Jillian Turner reports from the White House.
One Democrat reportedly telling Axios, quote, the expletive is going to hit the fan Monday when Congress returns. People are scared about their own races, but they're also worried about the country and about democracy. 4 more Democrats privately called for Biden to bow out during a listening session that happened with leader Hakeem Jeffries.
It's now up to at least 10 House Democrats calling for the president to exit the race. Tomorrow, the president hosts world leaders at a NATO summit. The war in Ukraine, a big topic. Russian missile attacks today killed at least 20 Ukrainians. Boeing has worked out a plea deal with the federal government.
The Justice Department says Boeing has agreed to plead guilty to criminal fraud and avoid a trial involving the 2 crashes of its 737 MAX jetliners that left 346 people dead. As part of the deal, Boeing must pay an additional $243.6 million fine and invest $455 million in its safety and compliance programs.
Fox's Sue Guzman. Some victims' families want a federal judge to reject that plea deal. Hurricane Beryl is moving deeper into Texas after coming ashore about 3 hours ago between Corpus Christi and Galveston. It's still a Category 1 storm.
And the heaviest rainfall now moving into the Houston metro. That's concerning because all of Houston, or most of it, is a lot of concrete, and the water has nowhere to go. Over close to 6 inches already.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean Beryl did a lot of damage on Caribbean islands, blamed for at least 11 deaths. Excessive heat warnings remain in place. Arizona to Nevada, California up to Oregon and Washington state. Temperatures in some areas topping 110 degrees, even 120. America's listening to Fox News.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
You're right. And so are we. Welcome to Xtra 106.3.
I'm not sure what is wrong with younger folks, but they seem to be getting a whole lot wrong. Right now, the thing that I've seen more than anything else is over this long holiday weekend, I saw more like dudes that are probably in their 20s rocking socks with sandals. Like, what is going on?
Really?
What?
That's so disappointing.
What is happening when
It just seems uncomfortable, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Like sweaty feet or bad feet.
Yeah, no kidding. But Joey, you're 24, right?
Yeah, I'm 24. It's not a habit. It's not a normal thing. I've done it.
Right, but okay.
But I think it's time of year oriented.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like in the fall, I might,
Socks with sandals?
Yeah, just to be a little ironic, but still not now.
Yeah,
sweaty, nasty feet.
Yeah, it's just
I would never.
Me either.
I wore what I call my Jesus sandals, and they're really nice,
Like
and they're
Tevas
brown
or
leather, and
okay,
they're
leather,
nice.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Moccasins?
Not moccasins,
Well, no,
you idiot.
moccasin's not a sandal.
Like
Not
the
a sandal. Anyway, let's let the grown-ups talk here. But I never, ever looked in my sock drawer and said, these would look great with sandals.
No, me either. And so we go because intern Andrew you're a senior in college, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So socks with sandals, do you see it a lot? Are you okay with it?
I'm probably okay with it. I don't really see people wear sandals much anymore, though. Like,
Okay.
it's all slides or Crocs or Hey Dudes.
Even slides, though.
I wear socks with slides.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will do it in the fall, yeah.
I mean, I understand, like, going to a baseball game, I'll wear my socks with my slides because I'm taking my slides off to put on my cleats of some sort. But
yeah, I can see that a little bit.
to wear my slides out in public with socks, I don't get that.
So weird, man.
I don't know. It's time and temperature to me.
Yeah, okay.
Because I won't do it this time of year. If you catch me in socks, it's only because I'm wearing shoes and I'm planning on, kind of being out and about a little bit. But as soon as we get to the slide time of year, especially when it's in the fall, okay, socks fine.
Yeah.
For this month and the previous 3 months, there's no socks.
See, that's why I have these collapsible heel ones. Because it collapses, then I can take my socks off. And then I pull it up to look like a human and wear socks with it.
Okay, all right.
See, and then I take them off. Yeah, I don't know. It's the best of both worlds.
Can I point out something else that I'm a little conflicted by?
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right, so
other than this awful combination,
I didn't
socks
do it.
and sandals.
So I'm conflicted because of this.
Okay.
I wasn't sure how long Andrew was going to be with us because we typically don't have interns very long.
No, I know, because they get in here
first
and
of all,
hear
he's
the
our
truth.
first one.
That's right. That's the first
4
thing.
years we couldn't
Like,
get
Andrew,
one.
haven't they offered to move you over to somewhere else and you just keep saying no?
So I might be gone tomorrow. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I've got. They said that they might move, but I don't know if I will be one of the people who gets moved or not.
Right.
So-
they rotate between promotions, sales, programming, a couple different. Between our station, our sister station, our interns move about every 2 weeks.
And Andrew's been with us. This is week 3, right?
I think I've been with y'all for
4?
3 or 4 weeks, and
Yeah.
then
This
same
week
with
4.
the morning show over there.
Okay.
All
So what is your choice? Do you want to stay here with the truth, or would you rather?
And
Or would you
good
rather go-
people, or you want to go with the heathens over there?
I've enjoyed the morning stuff for both sides.
Okay.
There
So
you
I'd
go.
rather stay on the
So
morning if I
politically-
had the choice, but I don't know if it's up to me.
Politically perfect right there.
All right. So would you prefer a T-shirt or liquor? I don't
Yeah.
know what you're into.
The T-shirt's fine.
Yeah, he's
No,
not
don't
a
say
drinker.
that.
He's not a drinker.
He's not a drinker.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
What about some soda pop?
Yeah, we'll buy you ice cold Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that works.
I honestly thought that he was going to be gone after last week, which I was going to feel bad for. And you have my endorsement wherever you decide
Well,
to
look
go
at there.
and
Yeah.
what you decide to do. Let us know.
And Los is the
thank you.
intern whisperer,
I
and
can-
has been for as long as I've known
You
him.
can write some letters and be like, hey, here's one of our guys. But I say I'm conflicted because I bought you guys some stuff, but I didn't buy Andrew.
Oh.
Because I didn't think you were going to be here.
No, it's okay.
That was the only problem. Okay?
Give him my stuff.
Well, you choose what you want to do with it.
Okay, well, I mean,
I'm the new guy anyway.
He's
got like a whole
my
bag of fun stuff.
goodness! No way, Trash Pandas!
Trash Panda shirts.
Oh my gosh!
I love you.
Oh, I don't know if I
Yes.
can give this to you, Andrew.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
sorry, Andrew.
I don't know if I can do
Keep
it.
it.
For
Keep
me?
it.
I don't know if I can do it. Oh, that's awesome.
We'll get you a nice
Dude.
T-shirt, Drew.
Yeah,
It'll be out of the extra closet.
Yeah,
And we'll
that's
autograph it. And it's a large. XL, perfect.
Yeah, right. No,
I
that's
like
awesome.
bigger shirts now.
We can go online. We can order. We'll go and order you a trash bag.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't know.
Because you went to the game and I saw the pictures.
I went to the game over in Huntsville, Alabama, and you want to talk about genius marketing. They've changed from the Huntsville Stars to now the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
I love it.
So that's a joke in regards to Guardians of the Galaxy.
And now I know that. I'm on the end.
Now that you're on the end.
You're cool.
And so I'm in the store, and I'm with my wife, and let me just tell you guys this, and this is not braggadocio, but they have more merch sales than anyone else in the minor leagues.
Oh, really?
It is like out the door. And this isn't like going to, like, for instance, if you go to like a Stripers game and you buy a T-shirt for $10, ain't nothing in there $10.
No,
okay,
really?
Like all of their stuff,
It's like MLB.
Yeah,
pricing.
it's like all MLB pricing. I don't know if you saw it. Like, they have all the vendors at the same that you'll find with the Atlanta Braves. So nice. And so the crazy part about all of it is that as I'm trying to find this stuff, my wife's like, so how many of these are you going to buy?
Yeah, seriously, man, you're going to bankrupt us.
And I'm like, well, I mean, I owe Andrew like one. And she's like, well, is he going to be there? I was like, oh, well, I don't know.
Oh, see,
so
we didn't know.
I'll come through. I just didn't know. But now that I know, we'll be obligated. I will get you one as well, Andrew. I just didn't know you were going to be here.
No worries at all.
Well, thank you so much.
Still, you've been
I was going to send you money to buy me the shirt when I asked last week, but I do appreciate that. Now I'm going to get you something nice.
Again, I know that just because of the schedule, and I keep track of this sort of stuff in my mind. I'm not keeping score. But last year, I took like the last 3 weeks of the year off just because of how the schedule worked. And so I didn't get you guys a Christmas gift. Normally, like I had a couple things in mind, and then I was like, man, I totally missed it. And I didn't want to be the guy who came back like second week of January and be like, here, guys, here's this. So I'm like, okay, this is the one behind.
No, that's
you
great.
Got something else coming up in December.
Dude, that's so nice of you.
And I got you all the same shirt. It's a fun Trash Panda shirt.
It is, man. Shirt. Those things are fantastic. And they are the AA affiliate for who? The Angels?
The Angels, actually, they had, when we were out there, they had their the number one prospect in their system was a pitcher. He was the guy who was starting that night, looked really solid. But then, and you understand the difference in what's going on, their number 2 and 3 prospects are all in AA. They ain't that good. So when you see what's come through with the Braves in like the last like 5 years, like that organization would dream of an Austin Riley.
And what's the kid that we've got at Gwinnett? I believe now his name is Nacho. What's his last name? Nacho Lopez. And like my son is dying to get him up to the big league club. It up. Yeah, and he's been hitting well. And that's the thing, like the Braves farm system is so healthy and has been so healthy. And poor Ron Washington. That's why I didn't want him to take this gig. I did not want him to take the Angels job because I knew the Angels are in the gutter. It doesn't even look like there's any hope for the Angels. So, and he's going to take the punches for that.
By the way, so the number one starter, the number one overall guy in the Angel system is Caden Dana. And he's ranked 95th overall. So their number one prospect is 95th in the top 100.
Yeah.
Their next guy, Nelson Rada, who is playing outfield, he's 5'8", 160 pounds. It's like they had a lot of little guys.
Tiny guys.
Yeah, tiny guys.
Yeah, I've been following the Trash Pandas. That's what they did better than anybody else. Was their social media marketing was great, and I've been following them for years. I don't keep up with them in any way. I just really love what they were doing on social media, how fun they were. It was kind of like having a Savannah Bananas, but a little bit more serious. So I thought it was pretty cool. So to see, it doesn't surprise me at all that their merch is going crazy. Because they are a popular, fun follow.
And that is, you go to a minor league game and you'll see an occasional T-shirt or whatever. You'll see the big club.
Yeah, sure.
Man, everybody in there has Rocket City Trash Panda stuff.
That's awesome.
It was, like when my in-laws come out of their bedroom because it's time to go to the game and they all have their Trash Panda gear. I was like, these people serious.
Yeah, I know. No, I love it.
So now we get to be serious.
I love minor league baseball, man. So good. Is it the same quality as big league baseball? No, it's not. But it's so much fun. The entertainment value between innings is great. It's what big league baseball used to be 100 years ago. I love minor league ball, and I hope it stays healthy. And thank you, Los. It's so kind of you, dude.
Nice.
So kind of you.
Thank
Whatever.
you.
Yeah, man.
Don't ask me for a damn thing from here on out until December.
Till December. Have we been bad about that, Rhino? Have we been asking those?
No,
No,
of course
I don't
not.
think
But
so.
I
We
mean,
wouldn't.
the
He was
best
talking
stuff.
to Joe and Andrew back there.
But I try randomly just to be like, here, I appreciate you guys.
No, it is. It's
to
so
try
kind.
and find little things here and there every now and then.
That's so kind of you,
But
man.
in this case, when I was there, Allison, my wife is sitting back and she's like, what are you doing? I go, I got to get shirts for the guys. They all wanted shirts.
You know what he does? He really does it just to make us feel bad because we don't do enough for him.
I'm not a great gift giver.
No. I'll tell you what, you guys
I
make.
feel bad. I should give him more gifts.
Yeah, you guys make this job easy to do, and so that's quite a bit.
Oh, that's the
enough.
gift.
You're kind.
That is quite a gift.
And we're adorable.
Well, that. Yeah.
Because trust me, not every radio show I've done in my career has been easy to do.
Well, look.
This one's considerably easier to do.
Can confirm.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've seen some bad situations.
There's been times where I've driven into work going, oh my God.
I can't believe I got to do this one more day. No,
Not another Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That's right.
I can't believe we're going to do this again.
And here's the thing. I had to log my father-in-law in on his iPad into my DirecTV account because his family, they have Xfinity. They can't watch the Braves. So I logged him in there, and he is, just a baseball guy, man. He's been a Yankees fan his whole life. He grew up in New York, all that.
No wonder I got the whole warning about the amount of streams.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Are you making that up?
No, I'm not making it up.
I'm the account owner. How did I not get that warning?
Just pointing it out.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to back off.
Just
Somebody
saying,
got to log back out.
Somebody's going to change the password on the HBO Max account if we don't fix this.
That's right. So, no, but he's such a baseball guy, and he's so much fun to talk baseball with, but he's slowed down significantly in the past
Not
several
enough
years.
to not log into the account.
No, well, I did it for him. I did it for him. If I had to let him do it, he'd never get it done. It just wouldn't happen.
Maybe that's a better play.
Yeah, I was going to say, take him off the account.
That's exactly right. Go ahead to back that thing down. But the reason I bring it up is because he has Parkinson's, and it is a really, really tough situation to see come down. A guy that when I met him, I guess I was already 20 when Laura and I, my wife and I, started seeing one another. He was so vibrant, so much fun. He had those girls out in the backyard playing softball and wiffle ball and badminton, and there was always something going on at their house, and he always led every activity. He was so much fun to be with and be around, and now to see what Parkinson's has done to him is heart-wrenching. The other night we were watching the Biden debate, and I'd never brought it up because I'd seen it before too, but my wife turns to me and says, Joe Biden really reminds me of my dad, his behaviors, the things that he does, the distant stares, the struggles with speech. You can see the processing happening, but he's not able to formulate it into a sentence. And then last night, I'm reading an article from Alex Berenson talking about Joe Biden and his Parkinson's diagnosis. Alex Berenson says there's a Parkinson's specialist that's been to the White House 9 times, and it makes perfect sense for our family because we have seen this disease up close, and it fits the profile so perfectly. The doctor is Dr. Kevin R. Kennard, a Parkinson's disease specialist, and he's traveled to the White House, he's traveled to Delaware, and none of the things in Delaware are logged, but when he goes to the White House, it is, and it has to be. 9 times he's been to the White House. The picture is starting to get more clear. Is there dementia in there? Possibly. There's no way for me to know. I'm no expert by any means, but you would see the signs of that from what I know about dementia. But I can see Parkinson's like it's a huge spotlight.
Okay, first of all, this is coming from Alex Berenson, who is a misinformation guru and who went out there and talked about COVID with actual facts.
Wrongest man.
Yeah. He gave facts instead of fiction, and he is dangerous. But this is what it is, and I don't know whether he's got Parkinson's or not. I don't know if he was being tested for it, but I think it'd be a better out for them than dementia, because that would at least give the White House and Democrats some cover to say, Oh, well, it wasn't even diagnosed until this point, so we didn't know. If we would have known this ahead of time, blah, blah. But this is more about him losing his mind. I wouldn't doubt me that he has it. You don't see the shaking. He's almost too still, you'd think, to have Parkinson's, right? Biden?
I don't know. My father-in-law doesn't shake.
He doesn't shake at all. He just kind of...
Just the tiniest, but it's only on occasion. It's not anything that is every day or every time I see him. And it's very mild at his state, but all the same, just the same symptoms are there. I mean, it is, and I've been seeing it for months and months and months, and it wasn't until the debate that my wife, it clicked for her. She goes, "Does this remind you of what my dad's facing?"
To me, when you recognize that Joe Biden and Joe Biden have done as much as they can to be in Delaware for as much treatment as they have had. Understanding that when he goes to his private residence, you don't have to log who's there. Imagine having this sort of doctor that many times to the White House. How much must this be happening where you've taken so much time away from the White House to get treatment? And again, I'm alleging it. I expect that that's exactly because, when we got through the debate, that's what they talked about. He's going to be in Delaware preparing for this. If you've had this doctor to the White House this many times, how much of a problem is this?
A big problem.
It's got to be massive.
And on top of that, it just is not going to get better. Just like dementia is not going to get better. This is going to continue to progress. And there's medications that my father-in-law has been on, and they tell me it's slowed his progression, but I don't know that. There's no way for me to know if that's the case. But Dr. Kennard, his visits began July 28th of 2023, so we're coming up on about a year. And it continued at least through March 28th of this year. Apparently, this is according to Alex Berenson, the physician profile, his page at Walter Reed notes him as a neurologist with movement disorders and in the early ages or the early phases, if you will, of Parkinson's. So, and that's what he researches at Walter Reed. It just all makes
kind of adds up.
Sense to me.
Sure does.
And
the man can't even walk. When you talk about not being able to really move or walk or, follow directions or do that, that's part of what it is. Right now, even on Fox News, they just put up about Biden staffers having to put up large pictures of what it looks like to walk to a podium.
Yeah, I saw that last night too.
Yeah. Where they physically say, here's where you walk. And they try to cover it up by saying, well, this is very normal for an advanced team to set up pictures.
No, here's the podium. Here's where to stand.
Yeah. They might set up, if you've never been there before, like if you're going to a foreign nation where they say, okay, this is the layout of the building that you've never been in. Yeah. Here's what you might see.
Okay.
Not to your podium.
Not to the podium once you're inside. They say, hey, here's the direction. Walk over to the podium at this time.
It would only be more humiliating if it was in Crayola.
Oh my God.
But it ain't that much better when you see the pictures.
Yeah, you're right.
You're exactly
right.
Dude.
Might as well be in Creole.
This Parkinson thing, I swear, man, that's what it is. I believe with all that's in me now that's what it is. I can't imagine how anything else. Well, there may be multiple things, but this is definitely part of it. Democrat power is at stake every time Joe Biden opens his mouth or gets on camera. We'll talk about that next on Xtra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Download the app. That way you can listen to us up until 10. Then the Glenn Beck program. They're going to be talking about Jill Biden lashing out at those trying to oust Joe Biden. And the family has rallied the team. They've circled the wagons around the Biden presidency. They'll talk about that at 10. Then Clay and Buck, noon until 3 until 6, the local programming with The Kimmer Show.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Xtra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Xtra 106.3 app.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
You have enough to deal with after an accident. You don't want to spend a lot of that time messing around with insurance companies. Besides, what are you going to say to them? You really know the ins and outs? David Van Sant at Van Sant Law does. He used to work for the insurance companies. Their worst nightmare. He knows who to call, what to say, how to listen to him, and he has your best interest at heart. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Who says you have to wait until December to celebrate Christmas? Hi, I'm Jaron Solomon. Right now at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we're celebrating Christmas in July in all of our locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg. Stop in today and enjoy our 12 days of deals on everything in our stores. Surprise your special someone with a beautiful diamond tennis bracelet, earrings, ring, or necklace. And to make your purchase even easier, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is offering up to 60 months interest-free financing. That's 5 years to pay for that special gift, interest-free. And while you're at it, why not break out the tree, string up the lights, and pour yourself some eggnog? Make this a Christmas to remember with our 12 days of deals. Don't wait until December. Find some of the biggest savings of the year at Solomon Brothers Jewelers during our Christmas in July event. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and Fisher Road in Sharpsburg, and online at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, now the preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves.
If the left made any sense, they would be right. Listen to Extra 106.3.
She's showing up on social media a whole lot, and that's because she's a very, very lovely lady, but I was going to encourage intern Andrew and board up Goey Virgin River. Maybe go visit Sunny Sweeney's Instagram page. Just throwing it out there.
There you go. As of late?
As of late.
Yeah, may or may, I've already seen that. She posted some pictures.
Yes, she did. Wow.
Yes,
she did.
Joe said he wants to, tomorrow we'll match. And
okay.
First I said that's kind of sketch. That's my new term for being a little,
yeah, right.
a little little fruity there.
questionable.
Yeah. So, but then I realized,
Yeah, brother.
this isn't a bad idea. Like, I will look way skinnier if we wear the same outfit if I stand next to him.
Okay.
This is my new thing. I'm going to surround
sure about
myself. Not. Yes. Yes, I am.
I love the confidence.
I'm very sure about that. Now, you may look tall. You'll look taller.
Well, that's because he is.
Yeah. But I'm going to start surrounding myself with like bigger, shorter people. That way I look like tall and skinny.
Okay.
You're going to use the
deception.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why at times some, I'll just say, average girls surround themselves with girls that are
really
significantly less than average. So they look like
right.
That way they look like the rock star.
They have their duff.
Right.
Is that what it's called?
Designated ugly fat friend.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, you're my duff.
It has a.
I'm your duff.
You're not ugly though.
Are we in Bizarro land?
No, look, I'm adorable. I'm adorable.
No, it is true. You will immediately go. Again, group of 5 walks in, and you go, that's the one.
Yeah, right.
Because the other is a little bit lesser.
Right. And they're called duffs. I didn't realize
You're just
it.
my DFF, my designated fat friend.
Okay.
But I don't think you're ugly.
Not
so,
BFF, but DFF.
Like, I would totally chill with Joe all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
man.
I'd
Sounds
go.
awesome.
I'd go be your wingman.
What is Duff
I'll
stand
pull
for
him in.
again?
Designated ugly fat friend.
Okay. That's awful and funny.
Yeah, you're just my DFF.
Awful funny is what it is. All right, well then, good enough. So now we've uncovered all kinds of. So we know Sketch. If you don't know this story, we've learned that Sketch, the internet sensation, the internet social media influencer that has blown up in the last probably 2 years. Is
That's
that
right,
right,
brother?
Yeah, that's right, brother. Did us all the crazy like little hand gestures, and he.
I'm just waiting for Andrew to do it again. I think he's
Andrew's
abandoned
out.
all of it.
Andrew's out on it.
I don't know if I can do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I just.
Wait. What's the? Hold on 1 second. That's his hand. There's a hand signal.
Well, yeah, he does hand signals.
Yeah,
Oh, hold on 1 second. So he double fists, and you guys didn't find something like a little weird in that?
So he
I've
allegedly
seen movies like that.
has been.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a girl thing.
Damn, I don't believe I'd admit that.
He's been active on the gay end of OnlyFans.
Yeah, so this is something that's just popped up over the
It
last.
just surprised people
12
that somebody who obviously has worked for internet fame, found internet fame, but might have had an internet past. That's all.
Yes, he does.
Why are you gay? A sketchy past.
Here's the problem I have with this. It's because the issue is that right now we're in a culture where I don't believe, now I can be completely wrong, I don't know that Sketch is gay, but at one point for fame, he went, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
People are willing to do anything for fame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is so weird to me.
But
because I have it, like all of it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like Tug, like super famous.
Me too. So I'm definitely not that.
But think about what you would do in order to gain fame, that you're willing to do anything.
I'm not willing to do anything for fame because I don't care about it enough. Like there's just not anything. I don't want to be famous.
How is Darius Rucker going to know you?
Well, it wouldn't matter. He doesn't. He sees me once a year, at best once a year, and he sees 10,000 people a day.
You only let him see you once a year. Let's be honest.
No, that's not true.
You're even. They're like, hey, Tug's here. Thank God.
No, I'm telling you.
Let's go see Tug.
And I know his bodyguard Buddy better than I know him. You know what I mean? And just because I spent more time with Buddy, the bodyguard. Buddy used to work in the jail
because
system.
Darius is like, hey, he's more important. Send Buddy to take care of Tug.
No, I don't know about that.
But if we just had the scenario where Joe Virgin River, hey, I need you to do one photo shoot naked on a bearskin rug, and it'll be out there for forever. But at that point, you're going to have all the fame and all the things you want.
Is it tasteful?
Yes, of course.
So do we know that is all Sketch did? It was just lay on a bearskin rug?
No, it was not. No,
it's the whole.
He was doing this
allegedly.
That's right.
The dude had some acts going. Yeah.
Wow. So that's the thing. You can't say you're not gay
like
if you're doing those things.
Like a
you are.
Senate aide in the Senate room, that kind of stuff. Ew. Oh, whoops.
Kinda. Yeah.
Bye, Sketch. Sorry, dude.
It's a bit of a disappointment going on this morning because Sketch has been quite the hero of the back room.
Oh, Sketch.
Like the guys behind the glass look at him and go, "That's entertaining. I wish I had come up with it." And now you go, "Maybe I'm glad I didn't come up with all of it."
Exactly. Is it safe to say Sketch is going down again?
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, I think this time, though, in a very different fashion.
Yeah.
I think this one is.
Yeah, this is.
His.
Whoops.
His career is going down in flames.
You're supposed to do that late, like after
Special
you get.
plays.
Well, you got to get fame somehow. Good for him.
Good
I
for
don't
him.
judge
We'll
him.
see.
Man.
A lot of people do crazy stuff for fame.
But I'm not doing anything for fame.
If he can live with it, though, good for him. He made his money, made some good money doing
can
it.
He?
That's what's most important to him, though.
That's the question.
For me, it's my son is most important to me.
Right,
for him, it was
Right.
getting that fame and that money, and he did it.
And let's be very honest about this. If this curtails the money, well, then, okay, that's a problem. If it doesn't, and it enhances the money,
I don't expect
good
that
for
it will.
you.
I don't expect that it will. Do you think?
No.
Yeah,
it's different. It's different. You got to understand the audience. Mm-hmm. And the audience isn't all about that.
No, you're exactly right.
Because the audience, for the most part, are Joe and Andrew.
Right. And as we see young men getting more conservative, I can't
Yeah.
imagine this being.
But Tug,
not that they're going to hate on the man for it, but they're just going to go,
I'm
it
just
ain't
done
for
with
me.
it. Yeah, I'm
There
just.
could be a
wash my hands of it.
backstory. Like, maybe he
there's
was working for his grandpa. Maybe he's like working for grandma and grandpa, trying to make money. He had to do whatever he could. Like, if it came down to Jacob and Laura being set for the rest of your life, and all I need you to do is tap dance.
OnlyFans.
No, not even naked. Not even on OnlyFans. Just tap dance in this American flag thong with a Trump flag, completely, shirtless, and just tap dancing on video.
Yeah,
and you'll be famous and take care of your family. You're going to do it.
What if you
Let's
could
try
pay
it.
for
Can
all
we
of
try
college?
it?
No.
And all you had to do
Tried that.
was just do an OnlyFans or some sort of channel where all you did was sail around Lake Lanier naked.
I'm in.
Not happening. No way.
Man, that's
not going to do it. I would just rather work hard and make the modest living that I make and do the best that I can. I don't
sounds stupid.
I know, but I just
that's dumb.
no, it is.
No, I get it. It's much more wholesome. It's much more.
But that's where I live, man. That's
respectable.
That's what I
mean, I'm doing the same thing you are. I'm not looking to cut corners, but there are opportunities that happen in this world, and oftentimes we miss them for a lack of imagination.
No, that's right. I agree with that.
And this is what a dude was able to do.
Yeah, look, like I said, I think you're spot on. I don't think anybody's going to turn on him. They're just going to quit consuming the product.
But
it'll be like the Bud Light moment a little bit.
I mean, look, he that's his lifestyle. Let him live it.
We're at a point now. I'm doing a Rhino. I'm going to bring it back to politics.
Let's go.
We have shown that in this world, you can get to the heights of wherever you want, even with dementia, as long as you're creative.
Yeah, no, that's exactly
if you're
right.
creative in this world, there's a whole lot of stuff you can accomplish.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and at this point, Democrats are only concerned with the power that they wield and can lose because they have a guy that is probably being diagnosed with Parkinson's and Joe Biden, and there's certainly some dementia in there. But that's the thing, right?
Can I ask you a question?
Is that they can't get by the power thing.
Yeah, they can't get by the power. Yeah. Do you think, like, if he actually knew what was happening, he'd be embarrassed by a Sam Brinton? He'd be embarrassed by a Senate staffer having sex?
That's a great question.
Would he be embarrassed by having
I would like to think so,
influencer trans man take off his top on the White House lawn?
Yeah,
Do you think he'd be embarrassed if he knew what was going on?
I think it's so on the periphery. I think it's so much because, to me, I'm not trying to downplay the fact that I don't believe that he has any idea about that stuff, but I believe that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think that this is so much about what that staff believes, and they're in charge, that they have no problem with it. But it does hurt the dignity of the office to see all the craziness that has happened under his watch. And I don't associate, as much as I want to say, hey, you're the boss.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's that with it to know that stuff.
No, that's probably right.
I'm right there with Rhino.
But it's like, the Chevron doctrine that has been struck down by the Supreme Court. His administration is like a microcosm of that Chevron doctrine because he's not running anything. It's the people behind the scenes that are running everything.
Of course.
So it's like a microcosm of what just got struck down, and hopefully the American voters will strike it down again in November.
Yeah, I hope they do. I think the American voters are willing to go ahead and vote against this entire Socialist Party, which is the Democrat Socialist Party, of course. And my fear is that I'm already seeing the stories out of swing states of, hey, we're going to go ahead and pass legislation for illegal citizens to vote. We're going to try to pass legislation to Dropbox again. Why? Why are we Dropboxing? Now they're throwing out bird flu. Here, they are struggling to pull back anything that won them or cheated their way into the election of 2020. They're trying to bring it all back now, and that's kind of the scary part to me.
I wonder.
We saw what happened in France, and I don't care what anybody says.
Dude, that's not. Dude, I'm glad you brought that up.
That place is gonna fall.
Dude, there is a revolution that's going to happen in one of these countries.
It's a nutty scene,
and that would be the first that. You're telling me you have a landslide in the French elections, so much so that Macron calls a snap election trying to just stop the avalanche, and all of a sudden everything flips and everybody that's a leftist wins? Dude, that just something about that smells fishy.
And then they rioted.
Yeah. And now, and then they rioted and destroyed the city. The people.
By the way, the people that won.
The people that won.
To be honest.
The people that won. And now all the left here. I mean, you go all over. All they're doing is saying, "Hey, can't wait till this happens here." What? You can't wait till once again you steal an election from someone, because that's what happened.
And then riot.
You can't wait to riot and destroy this country, because that's what's going to end up happening. This could be the most fearful time come January inauguration.
November.
Maybe just
I would
what am I talking about? Let's go first week in November. Get ready for it, because those people are going to riot. They're going to tear down, burn down, and do everything they've done throughout this entire presidency already. Look at the Palestinians and these terrorists that are here on our land, burning flags, throwing. We are in deep doo-doo, and they're the same exact kind of people that are out there in France doing the same thing.
I guess I just look at the idea of okay, whose ox is being gored? The old country witticism. And what I believe what's going to happen is that we're going to have a scenario. Obviously, Wisconsin has decided they're reinstituting drop boxes. We'll see what happens in Michigan. That's going to be the game. But you have to be so incredibly aggressive with it in order to beat the current polling, where at a minimum, Rhino told you the number last week. Donald Trump has a 6-point lead, which essentially is a landslide.
Yeah.
Like it
just never happens in modern politics.
You would have to cheat for not just like one night. Here's a couple of these different places, and one night we did this. You would have to cheat for a multitude of nights, not allowing anybody to see anything to make up what these numbers look like they're going to be. This entire election, I think, is going to come back to, by the time everything plays out, you're going to have one faction of society, and I believe it's going to be that communist portion. They're going to riot and lose their minds.
Get ready.
Because they are so accustomed to violence that I don't have a problem with it.
They're so accustomed to it now. And I mean, look what they've been doing, shooting up schools. I mean, this is the left. Look at the way they continue to riot. They destroy cities, campuses, education. They're destroying everything, all on the base of lies. This is going to be really dangerous come November, and I hope that we can rein it in. I hope that people can keep their cool, because I hate seeing anybody, because you know what? It doesn't happen in my neighborhood. It really doesn't.
But it's not even keeping
It's
it
happening
cool.
in their own neighborhoods. It's scary.
It is an ideology, though. It's not keeping you cool. This is our plan, and I've been trying to prepare my family for it. I'm like, get ready.
Well, I'm saying we keep our cool.
No, right.
Because it's easy for us to have to go and defend ourselves, our family, and our cities. And we need to keep our cool. We need to stay out of what they do. We don't need to be the fake Patriot Front that they try to put out there, which are probably just a bunch of FBI agents.
Yeah, we saw
never
them.
seen, by the way, I've never seen any white supremacists without one tattoo on their arm. Ever.
Pretty interesting about that, huh?
Yeah.
No, but the revolution, and you understand this about communism, the revolution never ends.
That's right.
It is always moving forward.
And yet the leftists fall into that trap as if there's some glory land utopia.
But the last 4 years, the revolution has been ignore the issues going on with the president. United front, here's what we're doing, here's what's being said. Now that that's broken, now here's where you start to institute the idea of they will fight amongst each other, one of them's going to survive, and then they're going to get violent.
Yep. Man, I tell you, I've been trying to talk my wife and my son to let them know November is going to be a rocky road.
Yeah, we're go up to the mountains, hide for a while, let it happen, because you know what? They're going to try to, and you know what? They're going to try to steal this. House Democrats are the only ones who are blocking bills to make sure that you have to show that you are an American citizen to vote.
And that gets played out this week.
Absolutely.
That's going to play out this week.
Man, there's no doubt in my mind.
Going to cheat.
If you are not prepared, you need to take a trip to True Prep. I'm telling you. November is going to be ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3 will knock out the headlines when we come back. And the congressman who delivered his state to make Joe Biden president is now turning his back on Biden. Next on the Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Have you seen these videos of Joe Biden, our president? It's embarrassing for our country and very telling to our enemies. The leader of the greatest nation in the world, of the strongest military in the world, is senile and demented and can only act when carefully scripted and managed by somebody who.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
On this episode of The Real Houses of Atlanta.
Whoa, Bobby, what's going on?
Well, now that I'm the HOA president, I'm going to start cracking down on the neighborhood.
With a sledgehammer?
Oh, look, this place is looking rough, and nobody's moving right now either. So I'm telling the neighbors it's time to fix up the homes they have.
And what do you suggest?
Well, I'm telling everybody on the block about Exovations. They're right here, and they can get your house the facelift it needs. We're talking new siding, roofing, windows, doors, decks, even porches, patios, and porticos. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start with Jim next door. Hey, Jimmy, you got a window out. Check the bylaws.
Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Avoid an HOA headache and let us give your home the facelift it needs. We'll introduce you to our ExoVision, our very own architectural design that allows you to envision your home's transformation before you even start the project. Ready for your on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation? Visit exovations.com and book your consultation today.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
At Nelson Elder Care Law, we understand that family's everything. That's why we prioritize your family's future with personalized asset protection solutions. Call us today to schedule your legacy planning meeting and discover how our team can tailor our services to meet your family's unique needs, ensuring a secure and worry-free future. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Nellie Miles with the GBI. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Monday, July 8th. And just a tease, I want you to stay tuned to the top of the hour. We have a pretty cool announcement coming up. Atlanta police are investigating after a 19-year-old was shot during an argument. Officials said the victim was visiting a friend when he got involved in an argument with a suspected shooter. The suspect shot the 19-year-old 3 times, once in each of his legs and once in the arm. The 19-year-old is stable at Grady as they continue to investigate the late-night shooting. Atlanta police are also investigating a shooting that left windows shattered at the Midtown offices of Invesco. Officers received reports of shots being fired, but did not find anyone injured or any shell casings. It wasn't until property managers, along with the police, found multiple windows damaged and multiple shell casings in the area. There are no suspects, and investigators are asking if you have any information, please call the Atlanta Police Department. And in sports, Adam Duvall, Jared Kelnick, Matt Olson, and Eli White all hit homers for the Braves as they beat the Philadelphia Phillies 6-0 yesterday. Reynaldo Lopez threw 6 scoreless innings in the win. Lopez was named to this year's All-Star game along with the Big Bear, Marcell Ozuna, and fellow starter Chris Sale. The Braves are back in action tonight at 9:40 when they head to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Xtra on Extra 106.3. Jim Clyburn is the reason that Joe Biden won his presidential bid. He delivered South Carolina. Now, that may not happen, Los.
Man, this was fascinating to see what happened. Yesterday on Face the Nation, Jim Clyburn was scheduled to appear, and then there was the phone call and the office saying, no, he's canceling. So Face the Nation ended up tweeting out, hey, scheduled to have Jim Clyburn. He was not able to appear. He's canceling. Understand, that is not a small thing. This is the man that when they cleared the decks, when they said, hey, Mayor Pete, you got to go. Bernie, you got to go. We're going to run with Joe Biden because we believe we can get him elected nationally. Jim Clyburn was the one, as you said, who delivered South Carolina. And now he won't come forward and talk about. Now, he did have a thing last week about, hey, let's not throw them both out.
Yeah.
But
them both is the optimal part of that sentence.
But stuff changes pretty fast over 72 hours.
But they know how important the whip is, and that's exactly who Jim Clyburn's always been. He's a whip. He's going to whip everybody to go a certain way, and that's what he did with Joe Biden. Can he do that with Kamala Harris? I think that's the question. I guarantee you they have him in saying, hey, can you make this happen? If he could, we were already heard from him. He's trying to figure out, I don't think I could get her elected. I am going to go ahead and do all the research. I'll get back to you. So I'm sure he's quiet because he's trying to do the impossible for them right now.
I think you're giving them too much credit. I don't think there's research going on at all. I think they're just trying to figure I think they're just trying to figure out what to do. I don't think they're researing.
Well, that's what I meant by not factually researching. Yeah. They're researching how to spin out of it.
Right. They poll test everything.
Yeah.
And that is going to be all through the weekend, trying to figure out what, by the time you get done with the George Stephanopoulos interview, it then, all right, let's poll and let's see what people think. That was their Hail Mary to see what was going to happen. I think the big question is this. They know that Joe just can't bow out. Because the problem is that he does hold all these delegates, and
unless he says I've got Parkinson's,
right,
and I can't.
Unless he was to point out that he has some sort of ailment,
that'd be the only way.
Because so many of these swing states, you have to get out one of two ways: ailment, death, or 25th Amendment.
Yeah,
and that's it. So he's holding all the cards. It's up to him to make the decision. So when Clyburn and the rest of these Democrats now, and and a lot of them House Democrats, are basically saying, you can't run.
Yeah.
We can't have you here. I think the numbers that, again, it's not a majority, but you're talking about 20 Democrats as of now that are like, he needs to bow out.
But then a lot of people that are former DNC politicians too, they're jumping on that bandwagon with the rallying cry.
Or even with Jim Clyburn.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you don't say anything, you're saying everything.
That's exactly right. That's why it's so wise what Donald Trump is doing right now by not saying anything. Like we saw a headline earlier that Trump was going to announce his VP candidate this week. Why would he?
Yeah,
that would be crazy. That'd be crazy because you would take the focus off of the failures of Joe Biden and the deficiencies of Joe Biden and put them on yourself. Why would you ever do that?
No. Again, we talk about it from Napoleon. When your enemy is making a mistake,
let him.
Let them do it. Do not get involved with this in terms of any of the attention coming your way. I know that he's a showman. This is not the time. Let them play this out over this week.
Yeah, and see how it shakes. But Jim Clyburn, it'll be fascinating because look, ultimately, if Joe Biden is forced out, whether by his own hand, I can't continue, my mental faculties won't allow me, which I don't expect. He said the good Lord in heaven had to come down and tell him to do that, or he wasn't going to do it. Or
another lie. Right. I don't think he believes in that either.
Or they strong arm him by saying, we're coming after you. We've got all the dirt on you. We're coming after you. And then force him to do it that way, just political blackmail or whatever it is. Man, this whole thing with Kamala is so fascinating because Jim Clyburn is going to have to. It doesn't matter if he believes he can get people to vote for her. He's going to have to. He's held to the same way of thinking, the same thing. Hey, she's the first black female vice president. We have to promote her, even though if I think she's incapable of winning.
He was behind her when she called Joe Biden a racist.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. He was behind her until the numbers fell apart. And then he couldn't be behind her. What'd he do? He sacked the first attempt at a black woman to become president for the oldest white man. So if I were a Democrat, I'd say, I don't want Clyburn touching any of this. Look what he did to us. Look who he installed as president or helped install as president. But right now, there's a power to be.
That is a lot of power for him to have, too.
Oh,
I mean, he probably enjoys that as well. Yeah.
Oh, listen. I have told people before, I used to work in the golf business. I put on charity events, celebrity events, done it for Donald Trump, Don Imus, and even Jim Clyburn out in Carolina. I was not impressed with this man at all. He was a jerk. He was a jerk to his staff, his people. It's nothing that I didn't see, but he is a brilliant, brilliant man with a lot of power and a lot of important people around him. So this man is important. There's a reason why he's the whip. He does know how to get votes. He does know how to bring people in. He does know how to win elections for the Democrats.
Yeah, he's proven that.
Yeah, so you got to watch out for him. This is the guy. And I love that Carlos brought it up. Why has he been so silent? And I really do believe they're trying to find their way out of this, and he's part of that key. Because he's the key to the black vote.
Morning Extra at Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hours brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. You can call them at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. There's so much more. This week is going to be, you think the fireworks you saw on the 4th of July were pretty?
We're 120 days away.
That's right.
120 days away, people.
It is.
It's going to get nuts.
It is. And that's the thing. And I keep warning my wife and son, get ready. This is going to be unlike anything you've seen, and you have to be brave in the face of fear because there are going to be some fearful times, I expect, around the election, especially if Trump wins, which I expect to happen. If Trump wins, the things you saw in Minnesota are going to be child's play.
Child's play. Absolutely. Now more than ever, I mean, you got to get to a place like True Prep. Make sure that your family's protected. You have all the essentials, water, food, and of course, ammo, firearms, firearm accessories. Make sure you get everything. It's going to be nuts.
Some clean water would probably be helpful too. Just keep in mind.
Yeah.
Clean water would be good.
Water filtration, good.
Got to have all that. Joe Biden will be the nominee in November, most likely, but one Democrat alternative ticket has gotten a lot of attention. We'll talk about that after a Neil Bortz report and a Fox News update. Next on Extra 106.3.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, I've talked about blatant media bias ad nauseum. Here is one of the greatest examples I have ever seen of what I've been ranting and raving about. It appeared in my hometown newspaper, the Naples Daily News. Now, let me tell you, the Naples Daily News is owned by Gannett, the same people that own USA Today. So in reality, the Naples Daily News is nothing but a local version of USA Today. Here is the headline that appeared. Final confirmation. Florida government imposes fee on Disney World leaders. And the picture is a picture of the castle at the Magic Kingdom and a somewhat angry Ron DeSantis. Now, you are supposed to think that the feud between Disney World and Ron DeSantis has progressed to the point that Ron DeSantis is now imposing a fee on people who want to visit Disney World. That's not it at all. Not even close. What is the fee? Some amendments to the law that authorizes red light cameras in Florida. The fee for running a red light caught on a red light camera, $158. So far, a pretty straightforward story. But then it says this: guests driving to Walt Disney World Resort should exercise caution. A red light camera violation in Florida comes with a $158 fee. No, it's not a fee. It's a fine. Then the story goes on. Who wants to tack that expense onto an already pricey visit to the Magic Kingdom? Then later on in the story, it says that this law doesn't directly target Walt Disney World, but Governor DeSantis has a history of targeting legislation at the Walt Disney World Company. So there you go, folks. A law imposing a fine for running a red light, according to the Naples Daily News, is a fee on visitors to Disney World. You can't make this stuff up. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Neil Bortz here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors, quality and precision.
More Democrats put President Biden under more pressure. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, as Congress returns today. And Fox's Madeline Rivera reports from the White House.
At least 5 House Democrats have gone public with their calls for the president to step aside, but there is a lot more frustration churning behind closed doors. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries had a virtual meeting with ranking House Committee Dems on Sunday. Several of them voiced concerns about the president's viability.
4 of them calling privately for the president to exit the 2024 race, including top Democrats on House committees Adam Smith, Jerry Nadler, Mark Takano, and Joe Morrell. But the president keeps running, campaigning in Philadelphia.
This election is going to be about block and tackling, simple, basic politics.
Now, former President Trump has called for a second debate after President Biden's performance in the first one led to all this scrutiny about his age and mental fitness. Tonight, the former president will be interviewed on Hannity on the Fox News channel at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, President Biden hosts world leaders at a NATO summit. Helping Ukraine battle Russia, a big topic after Russian missile attacks today killed at least 31 people.
A daylight bombardment of Kyiv, the biggest for months. Ukraine's largest children's hospital among the buildings hit. According to President Volodymyr Zelensky, Russia used 40 missiles to target 5 different cities in all.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Hurricane Beryl's raining down on Texas. There are flood warnings in place in the Houston area after Beryl made landfall between Corpus Christi and Galveston before dawn. Fox Weather's Bretta Merwin has been riding the storm out in a car in Surfside.
Imagine 4 hours of winds that are gusting above 90 miles per hour. That's been the reality. I got to tell you, the winds with Beryl, just when you feel like it's going to let up, it just comes rushing right back in.
And the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, Beryl still Category 1. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey,
Hi, everyone. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of consumer cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. GOP senators are increasingly publicizing their battle over potential rules changes ahead of the Republican leadership elections. Conservative Senator Mike Lee of Utah is doubling down on his push for term limits and clapping back at proposals from Republican Tom Tillis of North Carolina. Lee wants to, quote, democratize how the leader runs things. He's worried about what he called a consolidation of power. A number of Tillis's proposals would give the next GOP leader more power over issues like committee assignments. He argued that changes could help conference priorities and messaging. Lee disagreed. The back and forth is the latest example of growing tensions within the Republican conference over not only who will lead them, but what powers that person should have. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is planning to step away from his post late this year. Conservatives demand changes from whomever succeeds McConnell. And many senators see the House Republican Conference's chaos this term as a potential warning sign. Republicans will likely vote in secret to tap a new leader in November. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Extra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
This should be the ball game. If let's put Donald Trump in the picture instead of Joe Biden. If Donald Trump in the last 2 weeks had been led around by the hand, had been turned around by the Italian prime minister, had been unable to get into a limo truck, if all the things that have happened to him, falling asleep and forgetting the names of, all those things we've been playing for the last 2 or 3, just in the last little period of time, and plus the business about being told he's too old and doesn't have a memory, so you can't charge him with a crime, all this stuff. If that had all been Donald Trump, I guarantee you the Jim Acostas and the Sam Donaldsons would have been on him like crap on a pig. He is not fit for office.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
It must be tough to be a Biden voter right now. Maybe we can find it in our hearts to show them a little empathy and compassion. They are having to pretend to ignore the all too obvious diminished capacity of their presidential candidate.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app. You may have seen the Bortz billboard all across town. Let everyone know Bortz is back and his new home is Extra 106.3.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. The bonus hour, so much to talk about because there's just so much chaos in the Democrat Party. There's so much chaos surrounding the president, Joe Biden, which we've been led to believe is just fine. You listening know that that's not the case. Everybody that has eyes that can see and ears that can hear.
One bad day, Tug. Stop it.
knows that it's not okay.
One bad night.
And then there's craziness going on in this country, and everybody's trying to figure out what's next.
Well, are you guys believers in that this is all done with? Because you have a portion of people that won't go on the record. But we saw yesterday, like the Sunday shows were pretty interesting to see no Democrats showing up on them to back Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that spoke
Clyburn
a lot.
dropping out at CBS. You had nobody on Fox News Sunday.
I thought that spoke volumes about what's going on.
I really did too. And then when you start to hear that White House officials, when I hear that Democrats, because I talked about it earlier this morning, when I hear that Democrats in states are now backing off, that's just a down ballot trying to save their jobs. We've seen it here when Raphael Warnock said, hey, President Biden, don't come down here right now. I just don't need your support right now. But now that you're starting to see senior advisors, people that normally do that press circuit that Carlos is talking about, saying, I don't want to be a part of this. You know something's happening. You know they're trying to scramble right now to figure out, how do we replace this man? That debate was that bad. Think about history that was made that day of that debate. Have we ever seen anybody fall apart in one debate?
Well, but you knew it was coming because there's no way he could hold it together.
Right. We saw it coming.
Outside of breaking into a hotel, I don't think we've seen something so massive in politics that changes the scales this fast, this quick. And again, we're living in a different time that information moves so quickly and people make up their minds so fast. Within 48 hours, you had the entire Democrat Party going, oh my God, we have a problem. Within 72, 96 hours, it turned into, we have to bail on this person. And the weird part is that the Democrats that are still backing it are the ones that are being left behind here.
Yeah. No, you're right.
The power brokers have already decided what's happening.
They've moved on. You're exactly right. But the problem is Joe Biden legally has all the cards in his favor. He could lay them down and play them if he is not strong-armed, and that's something that we discussed a little bit earlier.
He's going to be
strong-armed. Are they going to say, hey, dude, we're going after your son. We're going to show everything? Because they know.
I don't even think it's about his son. I bet it's more about. I bet it's about Jill and him.
Yeah, could
be.
I
bet it's about
the doctor that's accused of doing business with him.
Right. It's about that. It's about all the lies that they use to hide his, number one, his decline, but number two, to hide what's going on in Ukraine, to hide those business dealings with China, to hide all that. Hunter Biden is not a concern. Whether they tell you the love of a father, I don't think Joe Biden or Jill Biden care at all about what happens to Hunter. I'm sure there's a little bit of a heart that beats for him, but not much. They're more concerned about them. And that's where I think that the Democrats and the powers that be, the ones behind the scenes, say, hey, this is too important. We got to at least save those down ballot elections. You got to step aside. I just don't think Kamala's the right answer for him. I don't think she can win either.
So when we had our show notes, I referred to this as the fear bunker. Okay? We are in 1945, Germany, and it's Adolf and it's Eva Braun, okay? You now have a scenario where it's Joe Biden, it's Jill Biden, it's Hunter Biden, and they're keeping everybody else out.
Yeah,
the Axios report about how they're secluding him and they're going to run no matter what. The enemies are at the gates, and here's the part about it. It's not us.
No, it's their own party.
It's their own party. We're not the ones with the pitchforks and the torches. They are. They're the ones trying to take down the American president. And whether it's the donor class or whether it's the establishment Democrats, everyone within that party is aiming at Joe. And Joe and his family have decided that the best way to avoid prosecution and everything else is to hold on to the bully pulpit.
The donor class, though, Rhino, and the establishment are one and the same.
Yeah.
Those people are... I mean, they're hand in glove.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So when that starts turning,
money speaks to the Biden family,
but to everyone
and to everyone.
And that's, money's corrupting.
Republicans,
money's corrupting.
The whole establishment. Money talks. None of them actually, are there to do the job for the constituents. They've proven that time after time after time. They're there to get wealthy. Joe Biden's become wealthy because these people have lined his pockets. If these people speak, he doesn't have a choice but to listen. He could be as ornery as he wants and he can do whatever he wants. Jill will fold. Hunter Biden, what a joke. First of all, the fact that he's like, I never deal with my son in business, but yet you have him to help you with your campaign. Come on, we're not buying any
I don't even
garbage,
know where Hunter is. I don't know what he's up to.
I love now my kid.
Now he's your closest advisor.
Yeah, now he's here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But here's the problem. I don't know what they're going to do because right now you have to just kind of go, hey, let's punt. Let's punt. Because they don't want Kamala Harris as the next president, regardless.
Well, even if they couldn't get her elected anyway, even if they did want her.
They'll never get her elected. They do not like her. The constituent, the base that they're going after, and they continue to pander to, they do not like her. Most of America doesn't like her. I just can't imagine her being the candidate. They have to switch both out. I just don't know how they're going to do it. And Gavin Newsom, that's somebody that, like, when you look down their bench, who are you going to call in? Janelle and I continue to go on the Westmore out of Baltimore, Maryland. That guy is going to be the next superstar in the Democrat Party. Hakeem Jeffries, that's the socialist they love. I don't think he translates well, but I know Kamala Harris can't do this job.
No, she can't. And it's funny. Go ahead.
Well, just the interesting aspect is that, and we brought it up last week, because it's only one term,
whoever's running, as much as we all are focused on 2024, the race again begins in 2026. So if you're Gretchen Whitmer, if you happen to be Gavin Newsom, if you happen to be somebody who's aspiring to that role, you're only basically waiting about 18 months to run again. And you don't have the stigma of everything going on right now. So whoever I believe is offered up is not going to be one of the headliners.
No,
it's not going to be one of the stars.
Sink their ship?
Why would you sink them?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you waste that political capital?
And this is the crazy part about what has gone on in politics. When you lose an election for president, typically you're done. And right now, you have Donald Trump as popular as he's ever been when it comes to polling.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah,
I think it's a little bit of a different scenario, though. Because like Mitt Romney, we ran, lost, done. You know what I mean? John McCain lost, done.
Right, but how
Trump's already been president, though. I think that's the little bit of a difference.
But how crazy does it have to be? Because remember, you've got a lot of one-term presidents, and they were not able to run again. They couldn't build up the popularity. You have a scenario where a guy who was left for dead. How bad do you have to be under the Biden administration to have somebody who lost an election be in control as of right now? Be in control
just from losing the election would be one thing, too. But also after you've weaponized the government against him and you've done everything you can to tie him up in court, take away any kind of campaigning and money towards campaigning that you could, Donald Trump, this is a movement. I mean, I've said it from the beginning. This is a movement that's going to continue down. And now they have to figure out, we're not going to win the presidency. They already know that. So I agree. Why waste a candidate? I don't believe they believe in Gavin Newsom as much as the left thinks they believe in Gavin Newsom. Remember, this man was supposed to be, hey, DeSantis Newsom, this is huge. Let's have a debate, and then gets crushed. He loses to Adam Carolla in the debate. I don't even think they want him, so maybe they sacrifice him. But at the same time, they only focus right now for them is, oh my gosh, we could lose the House and the Senate along
Down
with the presidency. We got to get down ballot, which is why they're all jumping ship now. They are trying to save their job, saying, hey, I didn't know that he was this bad off. You're lying, number one, but hey, save my job. I'm going to make sure that we never allow this to happen again.
The legal ramifications will be interesting, too, to see how this shakes out. Because, again, going back, Biden has all the cards. Unless they force him out by saying we're going to uncover everything that you've done, we're exposing you as the fraud you are, as the person that sold out the country, the person that is in bed with China, and they could absolutely show all that. That would make him step aside, I do believe, and then that leaves Kamala Harris. Where does that put the Harris ticket? Who is the VP?
Yeah.
Is it a Gavin Newsom? Gavin said he had no interest in running in an open convention.
Or they could just open the door to Air Force One and tell him the stairs are there.
Yeah.
And not actually put the stairs up. They could trick him into do his own demise, really, at this point.
Like Wile E. Coyote?
Yeah. Like tell him, hey, here, take a picture of the podium, be like, the podium's here, and then it not really be a podium, just like a room they lock him in.
Right. We don't know where
he would never know. I don't know where he took off. He's AWOL.
He's just AWOL.
But again, let's point this out. Joe Biden holds all the cards right now. And really, unless there is something they can hold over his head,
which there's plenty.
But this is where I guess I keep going back to.
They expose themselves likely by doing that too.
I keep going back to this in my mind. If you're so concerned about, hey, Joe, we got this and that on you. All right, well, if you've got dementia and Jill ain't really worried about it, like, oh, you're going to lock up my husband? Whatever, let's run.
Sure, run it.
Hunter's already been convicted. Whatever, let's run.
Yeah.
You know, like, what is the pain point?
What could get worse? Like, could it possibly get worse, is what you're saying?
And if you want to appeal to, hey, Joe, you've been a good Democrat for 50 years. You have done, but the party is going to be better off if you move on. I don't think Joe's ever been about anything other than Joe Biden.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the. Yeah,
I don't care about that stuff.
I don't think he
doesn't care.
You know, what are you going to appeal to?
Or maybe
Jill doesn't care about anything except for Joe Biden's power.
Maybe he did care at some point, but does he care now?
No.
And when the spotlight is on you and your feet are to the fire, how loyal are you to the party that's turning on you?
Oh, they're turning on them quick, just like they do to their own all the time. They eat their own. That's what communism is all about. But I think that he is so corrupt and he is so worried about what would come out if he does even remember what he's guilty of.
But I think he steps aside because they tell him to. There are big powers there that do have the ears. Jill is only out of control because they've allowed her to be out of control for this long. I don't care what she says, what kind of power she wields. She doesn't wield the same amount of power as the money guys, the people who are funding everything, the George Soros of the world, all the big ones.
But legally they do.
Doesn't matter what legal. Legal this, legal that. When it comes to the Democrats, legal doesn't mean anything.
I know what you're saying.
They circumvent the law.
Sure they do, but I'm saying, though, if Joe Biden wants to cause a stink and Jill wants to cause a stink, they absolutely can. They can hang on to everything that they want to.
They're going to get Clinton.
Oh, and that's possible, but it would have to be done that way.
You would have to push a certain pain point. And I don't know if you're telling me that you're willing to march out your husband, who clearly is in decline, and you're willing to put him on a stage and have him embarrass himself for 90 minutes in front of 53 million people, and then you're willing to take him aside and go, "You did so good, Joe. You answered all the questions. You took care of everything." Yeah. If you're willing to do that, then what is the pain point that's actually going to make you ditch out? Because this is not going to be on Joe.
You're assuming that she's willing to do it and not being forced to do that. Remember, she had to go from a debate and pretend everything's fine. She's being told what to do, how to handle him, how to be the strong Biden. I believe that she's obsessed with the power because that's the only reason she'd agree to continue to do that. But they got plenty on her as well. So she's doing their bidding. She hasn't been out there. Look, the Waffle House thing happened the same exact night. The next day was the same exact story. You did great. You answered all the questions. She was still playing the game today. They sent her to Columbus.
Yeah, man, I'm not convinced that Jill, because she has all her faculties, is going to just roll over. I don't believe that's
what
the
I'm
case.
curious about. If she doesn't have a pain point,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what would be the one thing that
she's going to go up against all those powers that actually got them the power? I don't believe it.
That's curiosity.
She's playing the game until they tell her she's no longer allowed to play the game.
But that's why they're insulating themselves. Again, I call it the fear bunker because it's the fear bunker. They've decided
they don't know who to trust.
Power until the end.
Yeah, they have no idea who to trust.
We're going to tell everybody that you're fighting. They're telling and this is why I think what's going to be interesting to watch over the next week to 2 weeks. Now that you're sitting back and seeing how all this is playing out, and all the enemies are at the gates, and they're part of the party, and they're at the gates. Watch how many people leave the White House.
Oh yeah,
who just decide like I got to get out of here.
Oh, resumes are flying out today, like they did with the Kamala Harris. Her staff.
She can't keep anybody, and she's not president.
No, exactly. I understand and I get it. Yes, they brought in Hunter, they brought in Jill, they said, hey, you guys go figure out what you need to do. They're doing that. What that was Hunter, how much do they know? How much? What else did you lose? Besides the laptop, besides Ashley's, everything that's torn this down, what do we need to, how bad is this for us? And I'm sure they know how bad it is. I don't think they wield any power. If they did, I don't think you'd even have to worry about the debate or any of that.
If they didn't wield any power, they would have already stepped down. If they didn't wield power, it would already be over.
You don't step down until they tell you to step down. Why would they voluntarily step down?
That's what I'm saying. They don't. That's why they have all the
power
cards.
Brokers.
They have
tell
all the
them
cards.
when.
See, I think Joe legally has all the cards because he got all the delegates.
That's great.
But that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't have all the power, though.
If he didn't, he would have already stepped down the way he was told to do because they're all telling him to step down.
Well, nobody's officially probably told him. The money we don't know who's told him.
Yeah, I mean,
who's told him? Tug? Which big money breaker? Which?
Find me a Democrat that thinks he should not be stepped down. Joe.
No. Who's behind all the power? Who's behind instilling Joe Biden?
The money people are behind the Democrat Party without a doubt.
And how many of them have told you that?
No one's told me anything.
Okay, so you're going based on Democrat.
What
I'm saying is the money guys, when they tell them to step down, that's when it happens.
Why do you think they have insulated him and isolated him?
So they've
insulated themselves.
So they don't have to hear any of this stuff.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Again, it's not. This is the fear bunker.
Yeah.
That's right, because
they're going to wait until the Russians are there.
Yeah, it'll be.
And when they tell them to shut it down, they shut it down.
We shall see. I guess it'll be. It's going to be this next week. There's no doubt. This next
week is fascinating.
It's going to be a dadgum roller coaster.
It's all coming down for them next.
It's going to be like Mind Bender at Six Flags this week.
Yeah, they're going to lose their minds this week.
Morning Extra, Extra 106.3. One of Joe's closest advisors is going to hurt him in the long run. Next on the Morning Extra, on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. After we're done, Beck, then Clay and Buck, and the local afternoon show, our own Yosemite Sam, The Kimmer Show, 3 until 6. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Not only does the present structure make it possible for illegal aliens to vote, it actually encourages them to do so. So how much confidence does that give you in our elections? Just asking.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Front Office Lowe's. Let's talk about Honda generators. And where do you pick up a Honda generator? Well, you do that over at Howard Brothers. Do you need reliable power on the go? Well, look no further than Honda generators. Whether you're camping in the great outdoors, if you're powering up your work site, or you're ensuring your home is ready for any emergency, hey, that was the last time I used a Honda generator when I was in Florida after Hurricane Michael. Hey, I took the Honda generator, was able to power the house, was able to get a whole lot of work done. They are able to deliver unmatched performance. And the best place to get that Honda generator, it's quiet, it's efficient, is over at Howard Brothers. They have an expert staff. They have unbeatable service. They can explain exactly what your generator is able to do, how to maintain it, and how to keep it running for a long time. Visit Howard Brothers today and experience the power and reliability of Honda generators, your trusted source for all your power needs. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Honda and with Howard Brothers.
Who says you have to wait until December to celebrate Christmas? Hi, I'm Jaron Solomon. Right now at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we're celebrating Christmas in July in all of our locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg. Stop in today and enjoy our 12 days of deals on everything in our stores. Surprise your special someone with a beautiful diamond tennis bracelet, earrings, ring, or necklace. And to make your purchase even easier, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is offering up to 60 months interest-free financing. That's 5 years to pay for that special gift, interest-free. And while you're at it, why not break out the tree, string up the lights, and pour yourself some eggnog? Make this a Christmas to remember with our 12 days of deals. Don't wait until December. Find some of the biggest savings of the year at Solomon Brothers Jewelers during our Christmas in July event. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and Fisher Road in Sharpsburg, and online at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, now the preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home, and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Hey guys, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly. Have you heard the buzz about Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy?
Thanks, Tara. I'm Dr. Eugene Wallace, CEO and head of schools of Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy in Austell, Georgia. We are Christian, scholarly, affordable, and relational. Seeds of Excellence is committed to nurturing the whole child, spirit, mind, and body. From daily Bible classes to weekly chapel services, advanced technology, world languages, fine arts, athletics, national competitions, and a dedicated team of great professionals, our scholars from 6th weeks to 8th grade receive quality care through a premier education grounded in Christian worldviews. By blending the Abeka curriculum with Georgia state standards, we offer a comprehensive and faith-based learning environment that equips our scholars for success. We are thrilled to partner with Our Town Monthly. We want everyone in the community to read all about us.
You're right, Doc. Seeds of Excellence is a perfect fit. Friends, explore SOECA.net and experience the difference today.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Support conservative conversation on the radio in Atlanta by emailing us at sales@xtra1063.com.
Doug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra until 10. Download the app so you can listen live and on demand. This week is going to be like no other week that you've ever lived in your whole life. I mean, I'm seeing reports out of France, and people are saying France has fallen. And I'm not sure they're not right. I think whatever's going on in France is incredible. It's historic and probably not for the best.
No, definitely not for the best. Listen, they and, of course, the UK has embraced the pro-terrorist groups. And now their elections are falling to those pro and far-left pro-terrorist groups. They're going to sit and they're going to play the game and say, oh, look, see, there they are, the whole right wing of America calling for a, fraudulent election in France. Well, I'm sorry. We're going to use our eyes and see how they manipulated the election.
They also told us Joe Biden was fine.
Right. Joe Biden's great. Yeah, we've been told lies by the media. It's beyond the point.
He's totally good.
He's totally
What's
good.
the matter?
France is in trouble.
Yeah, they are, dude. France is in trouble.
There's going to be revolts from the normal people who don't want their lives threatened by pro-terrorists and really insane Islamic jihadists.
They have physically opened the borders. They have been such globalists in Europe that they are now suffering the benefit of it, or suffering the repercussions of it.
What is so concerning, and this is where it's like, America, pay attention to this stuff. Mm-hmm. What happened in France was after the right wing, which sounds like a dirty word. No, it's their conservatives, did extremely well. And as you pointed out, snap election, you had the socialists and the communists who came together and basically said, let's join power and let's see what we can create and see what we can have happen. So that's where when people say this thing is over with, the World Economic Forum has its clause in it. The globalists have won France. All right, let's watch what happens in France, because that is going to be an illustration of what happens around the world when a Western European country goes communist.
Man, I'm telling you, this world that we live in is as crooked as a dog's hind leg and just as chaotic as it could possibly be, and we're inviting those same things here to the United States. There is this is kind of breaking. About 17 minutes ago, a White House reporter at the Washington Post by the name of Matt Visor is saying that President Biden has sent a lengthy letter to congressional Democrats defending himself. Quote, despite all the speculation in the press and elsewhere, I am firmly committed to staying in this race, to running to the end of this race, and to beating Donald Trump, end quote. So this is a fight that is going to get ugly, and could destroy the Democrat Party. I mean, it could. Yeah. You could see the fracturing already in the Democrat Party, where it does seem right now Republicans are galvanized behind Donald Trump, which I don't know that I expected.
Like them or hate them, they're coming together.
They are. That's exactly right, Rhino. And the exact opposite is happening in the Democrat Party.
Yeah, the Democrat Party is split, and they don't know what to do, but they're waiting for their orders to be downloaded, like Carlos said earlier, which I still love. And I think it's funny because they have 120 days. 120 days to fraudulently find 81 million votes, because that's what they're going to try to do again. Because now when you started to look and, listening over the weekend, we had the replay on Friday, you talked about the map and how bad that electoral college vote looked for Democrats. They have to minimize the landslide victory that is going to be projected. So now, what do you do in 120 days? Because they know they cannot win with Joe Biden at this point. When you have everybody coming out and going, yeah, no, we can't run, and now you're starting to hear about top officials, it's a done deal for him.
The Democrat Party is going to do whatever it takes, arm wrangling, behind the scenes wrangling, in public wrangling. There are going to be articles across the liberal media the mainstream media, the drive-by media, as Rush Limbaugh would have called it, there are going to be nothing but pressure on Joe Biden. And he's insulated himself, as Los has brought up, with his wife and his son. And they are shielding him, probably shielding. He probably has no idea that most of this is going on.
No.
And that's the thing. Like, an advisor like Hunter Biden cannot be good for you. Like, this is good. If there's going to be a downfall, that might be it.
I want to make this about Donald Trump and Hunter Biden because the idea of having a convicted felon, because that was the goal, right? All these cases, this is what we're going to go ahead and do. And what it did was basically nothing. We've seen where the polling has not changed. In fact, it's enhanced for Donald Trump. It's shocking because it goes against everything you would normally know about politics. And Hunter Biden being convicted of the gun charge hasn't hurt him either. What's happened is the crackhead thing continues to be the issue. And the idea that the closer you get to the president, the closer the joke is, wow, he's being advised by a crackhead. All right? Now,
yes.
Had we not found, not that it's his, but had we not found cocaine in the White House, there's probably he's a recovering addict. And you know what? But he's straightened out his life. But he's as dirty as a day is long. It's not helping.
Exactly
if there's one thing the American people should realize, when you have a crack addict child who loves to fly or human traffic prostitutes across the country, your other child is a addict, also has said that you may have or may not, she said, because I can go ahead and quote her diary now that we know it's real, even though it was fake, that you inappropriately took showers. When 2 of your 3 children are that much of a problem, let me tell you where the problem is. Parenting. You're not a good person. And I think a lot of people realize that as well, and that's why the Democrat Party's like, hey, we can move this. But they will stand strong, and as strong as they can for the next 7 days, 10 days, but they don't have much time now. Like I said, 120 days to win an election, good luck.
Yeah, because even if you get rid of Biden, who are you going to and going to ramp it up in 120
Kamala
days?
Harris, good luck with that one,
She's out there quoting poetry and talking about
we're going to be burdened by
time.
No, we're unburdened by what has been.
No, that's right. That's exactly
What
right.
if she put them all together and just like it came out to be like this really amazing speech? There's going about space and time and burdens.
All of a sudden she looks like Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a full court press that's going to happen, full blown from the media, whether it's the Oprahs of the world.
Oh no, that's right.
Or Taylor Swift at her concerts
96%
and everything else.
It's going to be like liberal. So.
This is the person. This is the one to lead us. We are unburdened by what has now. The polling shows that she does worse than Joe Biden, and she actually, and this is shocking, her favorability is less than Joe Biden. Yet, I think what they're looking for is a soft landing.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to is like, don't get throttled in the House and the Senate. See if we can find something that at least energizes the base for a little while.
To at least get them to the polls so you don't have the...
So you don't get lambasted.
Throw a stunt double up there for now. Okay, and then when we're ready to film the good scenes in 4 years, let's go ahead and get somebody ready to go in 4 years.
Let's create a star.
Yeah, let's create a star over the next 4 years. Let's not run them this year. Let's go ahead and build that because right now we've got to figure out a way. How do we get rid of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and rebrand this entire Democrat Party, but yet keep our far left and socialist ideas alive? We've got to find the next big person. And this is, you can only replace Kamala Harris with another black woman. I mean, I think that's got to be playing on the mind of every Democrat. And that's going to be an impossible thing for them to do right now because name me one black woman. Maxine Waters, you think they're going to throw with her? Who are you going to bring up into the party? You got to find them.
It's Kamala Harris.
Yeah, it is. If it ain't Joe, it's her.
If it ain't Joe, then that's where it's got to be.
That's the end-all, be-all right there.
And so much of this is, it's their own bed. They made it. They get to lay in it. The idea that you hired somebody, essentially when President Biden, when he was running, basically said, I'm going to pick a black woman as my VP. Well, at that point, you pretty much painted yourself into a corner.
Yeah.
So you didn't go get the best and the brightest among us. You just happened to go ahead and say, who's not a threat to me politically that might be able to help me? Remember, she wasn't even polling at 1%.
The one with the skeletons in her closet. The one that had to sleep with someone to sleep with a mayor to get into, where the position she was. I mean, those are Willie Brown. That's a fact. That's not something that we're making up or a conspiracy theory. They found the person that they could easily manipulate, that have enough dirt on it. She won't make it.
No, but
they're banking on that.
Knew.
Look, they're either going to take them both out at the same time, or they are going to let her run and fail, and they will not support her, and they will allow her to fail and not care about it.
The mainstream media will. They'll rally behind the Democrats. It will be the coronation, depending on who it is, if they are indeed able to get
You
him
mean the
out.
right-wing mainstream media now that is giving up Biden's age?
Yes, yeah.
Let's just remember,
turning
that
on them.
from a legal standpoint, and again, legality goes out the window oftentimes, the war chest is only accessible as of now by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And so if you're just telling me that you're trying to get access to the money, because remember, money wins elections.
Yeah, always.
All right? If you're telling me that the way you get people out to the polls so you don't get crushed is by having a $1 billion media campaign to have people go, I want to go vote for Kamala, even if it's not a majority, even if it's not enough to win the White House. Maybe it's enough to curtail them losing the Senate and getting blown out in the House. I think that's the idea of getting access to that money.
Yeah.
I just want I want whatever's most detrimental to the Democrats to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
well, yeah.
To be honest,
I want them gone.
Like, I don't know
They're
what is most detrimental at this point. Is it let Joe Biden run and just get destroyed, because that's obviously going to happen. But would it be even worse if Joe steps aside, or has to step aside, or is made to step aside, however it comes down, and Kamala runs? And would that be worse? Like, I want whatever's the worst to happen to the Democrats to happen.
Kamala is just like Joe Biden. She'll ride her bike to whatever big donor she can and hang out with that big donor while Doug Emhoff has COVID-19 and it's very serious. So she'll go and look for the money. She'll try to work her way into a situation.
What is worse, though, do you think?
Because Kamala Harris would be the worst. Well, which worse between the two?
Well, I'm just saying the situation.
It's like saying, do I want to go to hell or hell?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what would be worse for the Democrat Party? Would it be more chaotic if Joe does step aside and Kamala comes, or just Joe completely collapses?
Oh, it would be more chaotic, I think, if Kamala Harris had to be the nominee.
I think so too.
Absolutely.
So that's almost what I'm pulling for.
But they'd pull behind her.
Oh no question. 96% of the media would be like coronation.
Let's get on the record here. I want Joe to run.
Do you?
Because I think that's a soft target. Now, it's supposed to be easier if it's somebody else, but there's another part of me that goes, let's just see how chaotic they can make it.
This plays out.
See how chaotic they can possibly make it.
Think about the chaos, though, if he has to step down. I mean, that's never happened.
Right, and that's where the fear would be, because I think it would be a good rally for the Democrats if he stepped down on Kamala, because it would go, she needs us. You know, the black community. This is the first black woman. They, regardless of how they feel about her today, then when she's actually there, they will rally behind that and they'll gain. Sure. Now, I think there are a lot of people who are smart enough, and I still think black men hate her enough to say, hey, I don't care. I ain't rolling for that. I ain't going for Kamala Harris. I'm cool. I'm with Trump. I agree. Or I'm just sticking out of this. But I would rather see Joe Biden make it through this. He won't, but I'd love to see it.
Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3, 9 o'clock hours, brought to you by Southern Exteriors. Their website is southernexteriors.co. All the things you need done that you've been thinking about getting done to the exterior of your home: painting, siding, windows, doors, roofing. If you need a new deck, they'll build it. If you need a deck revitalized, like I do, they can do that too. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Monday, July 8th. Atlanta police are investigating after a 19-year-old was shot during an argument. Officials said the victim was visiting a friend when he got involved in an argument with a suspected shooter. The suspect shot the 19-year-old 3 times, one in each of his legs and once in the arm. The 19-year-old is stable at Grady as they continue to investigate the late-night shooting. Atlanta police are also investigating a shooting that left windows shattered at the Midtown offices of Invesco. Officers received reports of shots being fired, but did not find anyone injured or any shell casings. It wasn't until property managers, along with the police, found multiple windows damaged and multiple shell casings in the area. There are no suspects, and investigators are asking if you have any information to please call the Atlanta Police Department. In sports, Adam Duvall, Jared Kelnick, and Matt Olson. Oh, and throw in Eli White. They all hit homers for the Braves as they beat the Phillies 6-0 yesterday. Reynaldo Lopez threw 6 scoreless innings in the win. Lopez was named this year's All-Star game along with the Big Bear, Marcell Ozuna, and fellow starter Chris Sale. The Braves are back in action tonight at 9:40 when they head to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
We'll wrap up the Morning Extra Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10 with the R word being used for comic relief. Next on Extra 1063.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
All right, you see what's going on in Europe, overseas, and, well, you know, you can expect the same here every once in a while, especially if the left gets their hands on anything. They will destroy it, so make sure that you're prepared in case of an emergency with our friends over at True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. They are your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies. They have everything you need, whether it's freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid kits, firearms, firearm accessories, and ammo. They have it all at the lowest prices around, and they're locally owned and operated, so support the community members that support you and support us every single day. That's why they have the blood drive. Good, successful blood drive. It was the greatest blood drive ever. Right over there in Marietta on Cobb Parkway at True Prep. Go support them. Tell them I sent you over there. Say, Rhino sent me over here. I need to get started. Tell me all about your workshops, because that's one of the most important things. Intro to emergency preparedness supplies. That is the way to do it. Go and visit their workshops. Go online at trueprep.com. You'll see them all. Sign up for some of the workshops if you're new. And get your bug out bag ready. Get it going. Make sure that you're safe, your family's safe with True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with our friends over at True Prep.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Well, Sally, thank you for your time. But unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
But why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and we saw some red flags.
Like what?
Apparently, you were accused of dog-napping a chihuahua named Mr. Cha-Cha.
Mr. Cha-Cha was my soulmate.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Insurance companies know that you don't know a lot about the law, so maybe it would be better just to let your lawyer make the call to the insurance company when there's a problem. David Van Sant should be that lawyer. He used to work for the insurance company. He knows who to call, what to say, and he has your best interest at heart. Plus, if you don't get paid, either does he. Van Sant Law, 855 GA Injury or vansantlaw.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Your voice, your vote. And this year it matters more than ever. So for the unbiased election coverage that affects your family and your community, trust the voices that matter when it matters the most. Extra 1063 and the Extra app.
It's just Monday, and there's already 4th of July fireworks all over Washington, D.C. and all over Atlanta, Georgia, as we broadcast here from Dickey Broadcasting Company on Extra 1063. AI strikes again.
So I'm going to issue this warning that if this word makes you uncomfortable, it should. It's not part of the popular lexicon anymore. The R word, at one point, the word was mongoloid, and then things changed to make fun of people who have disabilities. And so I say all that to say that PC culture spitting in its face has now turned into people using the R word. Okay? Like, that's what it's turned into. I want you to take a listen to this, and just for a moment, let's put aside the fact that it's not a word that we normally use. It's not a word that should be used in pop culture or anywhere else. But damn, this is funny. This is going to be AI George Stephanopoulos interviewing Joe Biden, and it's going to sound exactly like George asking Joe Biden questions, and it's the R word for the sake of comedy. Take a listen.
After the debate, we ran a poll, and every single person we polled thinks that you're a retard. We polled African Americans. They all say you're a retard. Hispanic Americans also think that you're retarded. They call you El Retardo. We even polled actual retarded people. Even they say you sound absolutely retarded. You see where this is going, Mr. President?
Well, I just had a bad night.
I don't find it funny, unfortunately.
My God. When I saw that,
yeah,
I was rubbing my hands together going, this is where things are going AI-wise.
Now,
like, this is where it's going to be headed. Now,
I laughed hysterically when I saw it.
Yeah.
I just don't find, I felt bad for laughing.
I know. I felt like, okay, I'm not supposed to be laughing at this, but this is the one time where comedy is being used to tell the absolute truth.
This is
truth telling,
truth,
and it's not comfortable.
No, but
it's truthful.
But very few things in life that are truthful are comfortable.
And I think that's where if we want to talk about what is going on,
that's why PC culture exists, is because people are not comfortable telling you the truth.
Exactly. If you want to be very honest about where Joe Biden is, the question that was directed him to through AI is asking him, why are you like this?
Yeah.
And why do you think people think of you this way? And that's the comedy of all of it. And that is the truth. That, remember, we spent 4 years of the media telling you that this man was genius.
Right.
And everything was okay. Everything's fine.
So guess what?
Everything's just fine.
So when it goes back the other direction, all I'm saying is this.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about it.
No, I don't feel bad about that.
I feel bad for laughing at it.
But I feel horrible.
but you know why
I'm also sad about it.
You know why I didn't feel bad about laughing at it? Because I was told this man was a genius for 4 years. I was lied to.
Yeah.
Even though everything was right in my face, you were still told this guy is cognitively amazing. Joe Scarborough told me to F off for thinking that he wasn't.
He said
this elite.
Start the tape now.
Yeah.
This is the best version of Joe Biden that exists.
Yeah, I mean, then that's why I wish they would have done it a little bit, look, I get it. I mean, it was poignant. It was to the point. It gets it, and it's comedy, and they were doing their best there. It just, it's offensive to me because, I have family members that might be suffering and special people. Obviously, the plunge is important to me, and doing the polar plunge in the Special Olympics. That's right. I feel like it's an insult to them because in reality, he's not. He is just a corrupt, dementia-ridden guy. And this is where we've gone to. And it's not where I want to be as a Trump supporter at all, but I do get it. And I hate that I laugh at it. But it's true. We should never have to laugh at this man because he should never be there.
This is the clapback.
It is.
This is what happens when it becomes so beyond the pale. Man, remember, we were told for the better part of 4 years, this guy is totally with it. When we understand that cognitively, he's only able to operate for about 5 hours a day. And so when you have this spelled out in this way and thrown in your face, maybe this is the one that resonates. Again, not a word that I use on a regular basis. At the same time, I sit back and go, that's the best description of where we're at.
Oftentimes, the strongest language is what gets the attention and what cuts through. That's why comedians
makes you wake up.
That's why comedians cuss so much. That's why they do the things they do. They do it for shock value, and it gets your attention, especially when you're told nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
Your attention, there's nothing to bring your attention to the absurdities that are happening.
You had The View tell us for years.
Oh, he's the best.
This guy is so
Smart.
with it. We had, and it was Ava Navarro.
I mean, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries were in meetings with them.
He's so
sharper than
sharp.
ever.
He's so on top of things.
Oh, I know.
That when the clapback occurs, it occurs by using one of the ugliest words we got to describe to you who we think you now are.
And then throw on top of it, Joe Biden just sent the letter that said, I am not stepping aside.
Exactly.
Which for anybody with, you have to take the pride away from you. You have to take all that. For anybody who realizes that they cannot do the job that they're doing, it is a very hard thing to say, raise your hand and say, I can't do it.
Yeah. He's too stubborn for that.
Maybe that's it. But this is about to get uglier than it ever has before. It's about to get as ugly as it could possibly be. And look, it's on the other side, so it doesn't matter to us.
And by the way, that video didn't come from us.
Oh, no.
It came from their side.
No, I know.
That was their side.
But that's what I'm saying.
Sitting back going
this,
oh, my God.
This is just the first thing out of the gate. This is about to get so much more brutal.
Yeah. Well, look. We've done this to our side. What do you I see it every single day. The establishment, the Republicans, they did this to Trump the entire time over the past 8 years.
Or at least
this
we're
is
complicit.
what they've been doing. Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that Democrats are turning on their own and eating their own. I mean, it's what they do. They need to win. They need power. They will do whatever they can to just shoot this man down. He will stay in as long as he can. I mean, he is as stubborn as a mule. So good luck to him. I just don't think it's going to go well for him.
Keep in mind the daily briefing that's going to happen for Joe Biden's at 10:45 this morning. But we do have a congressional letter that's out in the last 20 minutes. Biden points out, quote, despite all the speculation, this is to the congressional Democrats, by the way. Despite all the speculation in the press and elsewhere, I am firmly committed to staying in this race and to running this race to the end and beating Donald Trump.
Yeah. Dude, and he just called into the Morning Joe on MSNBC. I'm watching the, I can see the closed captioning on it. Bottom line, we're here and not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. This is what he called into the Morning Joe this morning.
Another lie.
To save his campaign.
A fight we've got on our hands this week.
It's going to be brutal.
Look, I mean, they're
brutal.
What at this point, until they have an answer, what do you expect them to say? Like, hey, I'm looking into stepping down, guys. Hey, go ahead and abandon ship today.
Going to be, no. You're right. It's going to be yes until it's no.
Yeah, I know enough about politics to know he's not coming out there and be like, hey, guys, we're looking through all the situation. No, if there is any kind of projected strength, this is it for him. That's it. He's still lying.
They're trying to ride this thing out.
Yeah, they're going to
several news cycles, and they're still coming right after him.
9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, 8779 Southern. SouthernExteriors.co is their website for the best you can get in the entire Southeast for the exterior of your home. I've used them. You should too. Southern Exteriors is who you should find. All right, up next is the Glenn Beck program. They're going to be continuing the explosions, the fireworks that are all around even after the 4th of July. For Rhino and Los, Board Up, Goey, Virgin River, and intern Andrew, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Hey, it's Flounder, and the Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. And reminder that Joe Biden fired over 7,000 military members because they refused the COVID vaccine. And then he proceeded to bring 10 million unvetted, unchecked, unvaccinated